Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel stream, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to. Why is my name on the screen, mate? Welcome to episode 69 of the A-listers, Habibis. You get me? There's a lot for us to discuss. There's a lot for us to talk about today, mate. You get me? So much to talk about. You know, big up Jadon Sancho, aka Troops. He got so rattled yesterday. He got so rattled when I made that phone call with him. He was so mad. You get me? But we're back. We are going to be talking about City beating the Chelsea. We are going to be talking about Spurs in a crisis. Jacob will be joining us in a bit. We are going to be talking about Amorim. Yay, United won a game of football. You get me? United won a game of football. Crazy. And we're going to be talking about, Arsenal and how they got robbed away at Wolves, but they ended up getting with the 3 points. Of course, let's not forget. You get me? I don't wanna do Chelsea dirty, but I'm just, we have to be fair. We have to. One win in 6, mate. 1 win in 6. Hey, you get me? Joining us on the channel first and foremost, the biggest troublemaker in the Arsenal fan base. By far, biggest troublemaker. Obsessed with everything referee related. Egal is in the building. How are you, Egal? You're on mute, mate.
I can't believe you introduced me like that. When we're talking about one of the most outrageous refereeing decisions since they forgot to draw the lines in the Arsenal game, since they ruled the goal offside, which was clearly onside in the Liverpool Spurs game. This is ridiculous. But hey, we'll get into it. People are going to say you're crying victims. The real person crying victims is the referees. Did you see the PGMOL statement? Oh, yeah. Our referees are getting abuse. Nobody should be getting abuse. But at the same time, if you did your job properly, no one would be criticizing you.
Okay. You get me. That's an intro and a half right there. You get me? Michael Oliver causing chaos. Joining us next on the channel, you get me? He's here to talk shit to his little blue brother. So we will see how he performs today, because there's a certain bald man, you get me, from Brazil who cooked the shit out of Chelsea yesterday. Hi, Vator. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good. Thanks for having me on the show. Egal, what it do? Am I here to cook my?
Why do you always eye roll every time? Any intro I give you, just eye roll the whole time.
Am I eye roll? No. There's no eye roll. Eye rolling is looking up in the ceiling or looking out. I don't do that. I mean, I look to the side. I check out the screen. No, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm happy to be here. I was able to get a win versus the Pride of London. So yeah, we'll have a conversation about it.
Pride of London, damn. Joining us next on the channel, he got a win against the Pride of London, which is Fulham. You get me? So that's why he's smiling. Instead of one shot, guys, big Man United, 1 shot on target, 1 goal. You get me? Against Fulham. Worst game of football we have seen in our careers. Hello, Shikh. How you doing, mate?
Big up to everyone, man. Make sure you guys are running up to like, subscribing.
I love it when you're happy, Shikh. I can't lie. I will say.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. That's something that I would say. But hey, we get the 3 points. We move certain people on the panel. Not a win at Fulham is not for everyone, but it is what it is.
I'm surprised you can tell the difference between when he's angry or mad or happy. They're both the same. Very, very, sure, very much like a calm guy. Doesn't get too up, doesn't get too down.
Hey, because there's nothing. So honestly, there's nothing to get too up about.
No. That means
we get the 3 points.
Angry.
The only time I seen him giggity was after he beat Arsenal in the FA Cup.
I've seen Shikh angry as well on Man United watch alongs before. He does lose his shit. I can't lie.
Yeah, he does.
I do lose my shit. I do.
He does.
Like Onana against
This is happy Shikh, but when you see angry Shikh, it's different.
I was about to say the Onana example is the best one.
I'm happy for this week. That's what I'd say. We get the 3 points and move. We'll talk about the game.
Did you do a high pitched scream like Staffy did when Harry Maguire almost scored?
No. But I did. Yeah, I did. I was like pissed at that moment too. But no, not that high pitch. That was hella funny though. Staffy.
That video made me laugh. Hussam, did you ever fall off your chair?
No.
Did you ever kick your chair? That was hilarious.
I'll punch this big ass chair right now. It'll fall on the ground. I'm not Henry, please. I get me. Big up Henry though. Big up Henry if he's watching.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of Henry, the Spurs rep is here.
Really?
But of course, this guy is here ready to cause chaos. Very happy. Very happy because he has a lovely family, an incredible support system around him. Not because of his club. Ange is still here, mate. How are we? You get me? Look at him. Look at him. He's so. Every time I say Ange, he just gets rattled directly because he knows. Hello, Jacob. How you doing, mate?
Hey, I'm in the jungle. I'm in the mayhem, but I'm here.
Ange Postecoglou left you shirtless. What's going on?
No, I got a shirt.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was gonna say.
Bro, take care. You know this, Egal. You be running around doing everything, and I'm a sweaty man. So, much like Ange Postecoglou, we're sweaters.
There you go. And you're still back in Ange. Crazy.
No, it's not faulting the problem. It's not faulting sure, he has blood on his hands. This is the best way I can put it, bro. Ange is like the hitman in the mafia. Yeah, he's got some blood on his hands, but he's not the one profiting off of it. He's not the one facilitating it. He's not the one ordering it to be done. He's not the one stirring the beefs. All right, he's just a hitman, man. He's like he's not the boss. He's not the. Bro, I don't look like that. What the hell are you doing? Like, put some respect on my name, bro. Look at my hairline. Come on.
Shout out Trevor Phillip. But you can get a haircut on the game. I can make
Trevor from GTA is crazy. That's
it works. Don't worry.
I thought this was an Ange.
Leave Jacob alone, man. His club's already like.
No, this has
Bro,
nothing to do with
I don't even know. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
Jacob,
supposed to be on a Leicester stream right now. Leicester, Everton. Who else is down there? Southampton, Ipswich listers. Yeah, y'all ain't invited to this club. This is only for the proper shenanigans. All right.
You're a Z-lister.
Big up. And of course,
you were never welcome to A-listers in the first place.
Egal, can you Egal, control yourself because we have
Is it a color thing? Is it a color thing? Is it a color thing? Maybe it's a color thing.
Okay.
Is it a color thing?
No, it's not. Big up Sol Campbell though. Joining us on the
Is it
channel.
a color thing?
Why did that trigger you guys so much?
Whoa.
Because this dude 2 years ago was like,
Jacob.
why are they so? Oh, they didn't invite me to the Legends dinner. Oh, why are they still mean to me? Because you're a bitch. That's why. Soulless Campbell. I ain't even gonna say what I really think about you as a
yeah. Big up to all of you guys. You got
No, I'm not
said I
gonna
wasn't.
allow that. I'm not gonna allow that. Yeah. Jacob, look at your club right now.
What do you mean you're not going to allow that? Fuck Michael Owen as
made
well.
the
How
right
about
decision.
that?
No, Sol
Fuck
Campbell
Michael
made the
Owen.
right decision. You
Once
know that.
Is it a color thing?
Why
No,
is
deep
everyone
down in
trying
your
to
heart.
act like it's okay to see your player play for a
No,
rival?
wait. They're okay with Kyle Walker going to Man City winning 6 league
That's
titles.
not a rival, mate.
It's not a rival. Spurs.
And he also wasn't like,
He
don't
made the
worry,
right
guys, I'm going to be
decision.
back. I'm for sure going to sign for y'all. I'm going to make sure that I do you right because I'm a homegrown, all this and that. This dude, he literally set us up to
He made
drop
the right
us.
decision.
And then he's like, why are you mad?
You know what?
Deep down in your heart, you just hate the fact that you can't switch clubs. That's what's really
You
hurting.
know, I don't think you guys
Guys,
hate
this
him
is
as
all
much.
cute and everything, but can we bring out Lewis first?
Before we do that, I was just
thought
gonna
he was
say,
late. I thought he was
Lewis can
late.
hold that. I was just gonna say they wouldn't hate him as much if it was in the modern era where Fabrizio Romano and David Onsi are giving you updates every 2 weeks leading up to the transfer. Then
No,
you
Egal, I'll
still
tell you
think it
something
would.
right
It's
now.
the- it's the
We
idea of
all
the
love
rivalry.
we all love Konate. If Konate moves to Man United, fuck Konate the moment he makes the move. Egal, can we stop doing this utter woke nonsense? If you play
Egal,
for
what if
my
Saka
rival, I'm
went
gonna
to-
hate
so
you
what if Saka
forever.
went
What
to
the
Spurs?
hell?
Bro, and
Hell
it's
yeah,
not
I'm
just
gonna
going
hate you
to,
Bro,
but it's not just that. Like,
guys
you're
don't get
missing
the
a
joke.
layer of it.
Why do
The
we try
whole
to make
layer
the
is how he
football
fucking
like it's
lied.
baseball? Like,
Okay.
we-
I'm in a room full of people who don't get the joke. It was a joke. It didn't work.
Is it a color thing? Is it a color thing?
You know that is gonna be a meme forever now.
Is it a color? Oh, I've already clipped it up. That's a video. Anytime anyone says anything mean to me, I'm just gonna be like, "Is it a color thing? Is it a color thing?" Bro,
Because you all
Ledley
have-
King is a legend for us. Like, you know how many people cry when they meet Ledley King? Is it a color thing? Shut your ass up. You like a college girl at Duke. If you know, you know.
Oh my.
Hey, big up Duke.
They
And
get
speaking
it
of
in
Duke,
bro.
you get me the
No,
Duke
it's
of the
fake
Chelsea
cries.
fans. So like I can't even play the song. I can't like.
Send his video.
No one has moved. I need to bring Hamza. Wallah. Hi Lewis, how you doing, mate?
We're not here to dance.
Hello, Lewis.
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 I'm on now. Oh, okay, cool.
Hi.
Yeah, big up everyone. Big 6 bottle jobs back again. Up the Chelsea. Good to be back.
Bring back the Afro.
Big
We need
six
to
bottle
depress
jobs.
Lewis.
Oh, hell no. Poch ain't back.
Jacob is always dropping knowledge. I can't lie. You are right, Gonzo. Even though you are, but I love the fact yesterday Gonzo and Jacob had a moment together. He was like, "Yo, Jacob is defeated. I'm done here." So he just gave up. Even he saw Jacob defeated. He's like, "Yep, it's done." But we're not gonna start with Jacob because we have bigger fish to fry. Before we do that, big up to every single one of you guys. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. We already have 400 people in the building. You get me? So let's get the likes up early. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. I suppose there is only one place to start. And also, by the way, don't forget to subscribe. Egal Talks Football, Shikh TV, United Spurs of America. You get me? Subscribe to Carefree Lewis G.
It's going to be the United Championship of America soon.
Exactly. Subscribe to Vator Games TV as well. Who shall we let Lewis start first or Vator start first?
Yeah,
I think
it's fair.
The Victor can go first. That's fine.
Yeah, let Vator talk first.
Yeah,
because
please.
Vator always
please,
says the edgy shit. Yeah. Go ahead.
No. All right.
So are you going to be upset now because I called you edgy? You are edgy. Hold that. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a very well balanced fan from Manchester City. Now, let me speak real quick on this matchup going in, because we know what the result was. But going into this game, there was high stress. There was high worry. There was a lot of concerns on the City end. There's a lot of confidence on the Chelsea, and I'm gonna be real with you. But I spoke to several City fans. Lewis and I, Blue Bros. We speak. We go back and forth. We talk about the game.
Is it a color thing?
No. Blue.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it is blue.
You said blue, so
Yeah.
Jacob,
Yeah,
if you say that again, stop it. Jacob.
What?
You
Bro,
are-
I'm sorry. I thought it was
You're
everyone
so
loved
rattled by Egal. Let it go. He made a shit joke. Fraud. Go ahead, Vator.
Thank you.
So you're confirming it's a color thing. Got it.
Yes, you're
Blue
clever
Brothers.
fellow.
Yes,
Hold
relax. Now,
Vator.
I've spoken to other Chelsea fans, and unfortunately, they don't share the Blue Brother connection. RSM, Ahmed, Chelsea fan, Marshall. These guys have been hating from the minute. But you know what I asked them before the game?
It's a different shade of blue, bro. It's not the same.
It must be, unless only Lewis really knows what he's talking about. But going into the game, when I asked them, what are you guys confident about? And what are you guys concerned about? To a man, each and every one of them said keeper. They wouldn't mention it, but if I asked them, if I pressed them, they said they're keeper. And guess what happened in this game? Look at Lewis already on point with the image. Guess what happened in this game? I said, if we press them, if we cause them to have to make some tough decisions, make the keeper have to make some decisions, we can get a result out of it. And it played like a book, like a movie. It was absolutely perfect. I got to give it up. I got to give it up to Pep because I was surprised with how he was going to put that starting 11 together. We had some signings. We're making moves like Chelsea in terms of signing a lot of players in the transfer window. Pep started 2 new signings. Pep started a 20-year-old. It doesn't spit a lick of English. I don't know how he was coping back there, and he didn't cope well for the first 5 minutes. He did not. A terrible debut in the first 5, but what I saw in him was fight. Mentality. Don't get triggered, Arsenal fans. I saw mentality in this player. He fought through the difficulty. And I also saw, shout out to Mo, because Mo's going to be a City fan. Mamouche looked incredible. I know it didn't translate in terms of the stats with regards to goals and assists, but his movement, his pace, even his early connection with regards to Haaland, I love it. This debut was perfect. It's exactly what we needed. Chelsea were a team that were kind of like up and down, but they were still a threat because they got Cole Palmer. They got Caicedo. They had a very good attack. And what was going to worry me was, can my defense hold up? Can we do this for 90 minutes? We were able to do it against Chelsea. I'm liking the form that I'm seeing despite my little collapse versus PSG. I've got to take this momentum into Wednesday. But this game, Chelsea, they're not going anywhere. Don't take this the wrong way. This is still Manchester City. We're still the club that have won a treble. We're still the club that won a 4-peat. Guys, that doesn't go away. So we can maybe get moments within the season and not be as consistent, And we showed that we had that moment versus Chelsea. Look at what we saw from Haaland, guys. Are any of you on the panel going to question him? Are any of you going to have, let's ask about Haaland? Is he a complete player? Are any of you going to do that? Are any of you going to talk about Foden? Egal? Are you going to start bringing up Foden? I think that needs to be put to bed. I think we need to put that all to bed because, again, players are going to have
I could interrupt you right now, but I'm going to let you fly.
Yeah, I was going to say something too, but yeah.
Oh, you can interrupt. I got time. This is
I'm not allowed to? Yeah, I wonder.
You interrupted something non-related to the game, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob just going to start talking about Ange. And is it
he's going to try to bring it back to Ange or Sol Campbell or some nonsense.
Listen, bro, first things first. Phil Foden has shown up the last what is it, 5 games he stepped up?
2025, I believe he's probably the best player in the league right now.
The last 5 games.
You know how Arsenal fans like to do as of now, as of 2025. I think Phil Foden is the best player in the Prem. Would you agree?
That's not even remotely true. Are you forgetting about Mo Salah, bro?
In 2025.
Yeah.
I believe Phil Foden is outperforming Mo Salah in 2025.
Bro, man has 6 goals in 5 games. All of a sudden, you're moving mad.
I'm doing the Arsenal thing. I'm talking about 2025. As of now, I believe that Phil Foden is the best player in the Prem. You know that. You know how you run with that narrative, Egal. Respect it. Respect it.
Okay, bro. Outside of those 6 goals that he scored in the last 5 games, how many games have you played this season? 22. In the other,
you're not doing the Arsenal thing.
Other 17 games,
Egal.
in the other 17 games, he has 1 goal. So let's not do this whole thing where it's like, oh, now he's outperforming.
I don't want to do the whole thing. I want to do the Arsenal thing where we only do within a little window.
Stop. Yes, he's outperforming some of the other players in the league right now, and he's doing well for the last 4 games. But in those games, you also face defeats. You did not win in some of those games. You drew, if I'm not mistaken, for Brentford, where he scored 2 goals.
Not because of him.
I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but we didn't draw because of him.
Let's not act like you were beating up on Ipswich.
I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about Phil Foden's performance. I don't want to change the conversation. I want to keep it on point, just like you have.
Forget about the performance. You were the Premier League player of the season. You were the PFA player of the season.
Yes.
Just because you have a little run of 5 games does not take away from the fact that you're having a terrible season as an individual.
Egal, you know what you're doing right now. You're setting yourself up for when
you are setting yourself up.
No,
because you made the point where you're like, oh, where's the criticism for Phil Foden? The criticism for Phil Foden is still valid. It is still valid.
Not for 2025.
Egal, I want to say something. Sorry, I have to say something. Vator, I have to say something. Egal is 100% correct. Can I tell you why? Okay, no, bro, you can do this all you want. Nunes has been shit all year long. Just because he scored the winner against Brentford does not mean that I have to apologize. Where is the Nunes criticism?
Not talking about one game. Not talking about one game.
No problem. I'll give you another example. Luis Diaz, at the start of the season, he had like 2, 3, 4, 5 good games in a row. People are asking me for apologies. I didn't apologize. I just made up with the Colombians because I didn't want any problems. I didn't apologize. If we're saying Foden for 5 months of the season was not good, not playing up to levels, you can't come tell me where's the Foden criticism now because he's only been good for a month. So the Foden criticism at the time was correct. Now, if he performs really well to the end of the season, we can go like, okay, first half of the season he wasn't good, second half he was good, no problem. But we can't act like the first 5 months we didn't see what we saw, which is a shit version of him.
I'm okay with that, Hussam. I'm actually okay with that for the entire panel. I'm not okay with that with Egal though, because we all know how Egal will pick a certain time frame within a date and we'll talk about a player or a team's performance. I'm trying to have him keep the same energy. I'm saying as of 2025, don't interrupt. I'm saying as of 2025, Phil Foden has been that guy. And Egal, you know this. I'm just telling you, don't set yourself up to not be able to do your within this window, within this date period to be able to do your props. That's all I'm saying right now.
Okay.
So either keep the same energy because you like to do the props within a certain window, and I want the same for Phil Foden.
1 second. I am not going to now take everything that he's done for the last 5 games.
I'm not asking you to do that.
1 second. You don't even know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
You just jumped
me
in.
a 1 second.
I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy Vader getting rattled because he
I'm not
tries
going
to
to
act
take
on
his
phone.
I'm not going to take his 5 wonderful performances and discredit him.
Got your wife's jeans.
I'm not going to discredit him for having 5 good performances. Give him credit for having a good run of games. But you were Premier League Player of the Season, PFA Player of the Season. You're held to a standard. This should be the average of what we should be seeing on a regular basis for a long portion of the season. For us to only be seeing it right now could add more to my point, where when Man City, everything else around him is a lot more healthy, he performs, and when things are struggling, he doesn't show up. And that was my main point. So now all of a sudden that Man City are getting some performances. By the way, in one of the games that he didn't show up, you lost 4-2 to PSG. But we're not talking about that game. We're talking about the other games where he did show up. If I'm not mistaken, those were the Brentfords, the Ipswiches, the West Hams, and of course Chelsea, where we give him credit. It's a big game. He stepped up in that game. But overall, I need to see sustained improvement from now to the end of the season for me to say, oh, yeah, maybe he can maintain that those levels and keep a team up there. Maybe he can continue to carry a team and be the PFA Player of the Season level.
That's fair. What Egal is saying,
because this season he has been massively. He massively dropped off from what he was last year, and the team also dropped off, and it's down to him and his poor performances.
Okay, I'll accept all of that. The one thing, I'm going to come off mute, and he's going to hate me on Twitter X, or he's going to hate me in the comments, because as soon as Egal wants to talk about 5 games of form, or he wants to talk about 6 games of form, I'm going to be on his neck, because that's all I'm asking for with regards to Phil Foden right now. For these 5-6 games, for the month of Jan, for 2025, he's been that player. So as soon as Egal ever tries to do 5 games of prop, I'm on his neck. I'm just looking for the same energy.
There's 2 different things. I am not criticizing Phil Foden for his 5 games. I'm criticizing Phil Foden based on the fact that he was PFA Player of the Season last year, Premier League Player of the Season last year,
I agree.
And he has not maintained those levels for a large portion of the season. One second, you are conflating the difference between bigging up Doku or Savio for having a 5-game run compared to Phil Foden. He's not Doku and Savio.
No,
the man is supposed to be one of the best players in the league, and he's not held to those standards from you guys. He's held to the same standards as an academy kid that has just broke through. Stop treating Phil Foden like he's an academy kid who broke through yesterday, and treat him like what you say he is, one of the best players in the league, one of the best players in the world that you consider him, and you treat him and you baby him like he's still an up-and-coming player. Why are we bigging up a player who just won PFA Player of the Year and Premier League Player of the Year last year for 5 games? Show it to me from now to the end of the season, and show me you deserve that trophy, and you just had a poor start to the season due to other personal circumstances.
See, this is where the problem is. When you say show me why you deserve the trophy, he showed you last season why he deserved the trophy.
And last season he showed me that he deserved it, maybe. But I thought other people in his team deserved it more than him, personally. I thought Rodri won the Ballon d'Or for a goddamn reason, and he should have been in the PFA Player of the Year candidation, and he should have been in the Premier League Player of the Year candidation. On top of that, he has never been the main man in that team in his entire life. Last year, he stepped up and he won some games.
I let you run with it.
When I speak, he was never the main man. And for you to sit here and to
bro, he's clearly upset about something. Let him get off his chest.
He was never that.
Now, I let you flow. Watch when I speak and see whether Egal comes off mute or not. My whole thing is when you said, show me why he deserved the trophy, why he deserved to be Player of the Year. He doesn't need to do a damn thing this season to prove what he did last year. And my whole thing, which you failed to realize, and again, the panel's all mute, but they know how you move. They know how you take segments within a calendar.
What do you mean the panel's on mute? We're letting you fight each other.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
But can I tell you what the panel thinks? Can I tell you what the panel thinks? The panel thinks you're both frauds. How about that?
30 seconds, Vator. 35 seconds.
No, let me do this. Because when I speak, I hear Hussam go, oh, Vator, you got to be fair. Egal is making a point. But when I say something, you remain on mute. No, Vator. Oh, you are making a point. No,
you guys are arguing something with each other.
You came off
including other people.
Vator, I'm not even going to shout so the audience can listen. I speak for the other 4 on the panel, and I know they agree. You both are frauds. No one will deny this. You're both fraudulent human beings. So we're letting 2 frauds argue.
I respect Vator.
Yeah, I respect
Blue Brothers, they beat your ass yesterday.
You get me?
They always Vator's great. He has a constant Wi-Fi connection from his, tower. But let's be real. Vator's a fraud.
Is my internet going in and out?
No, I just meant because you're AI.
Oh, this guy's a joker. This guy's a joker. No, I just want to point out how Husam's inconsistent. You heard him prop up. Go back and watch the video. You heard him prop up. You got to agree with Egal. But when Vator's speaking, he remains muted. I just want to point out, and it's
because I agree with Egal again. Because I thought Rodri should have won it last season, not Foden.
I don't want to have that. Who cares about that? That has nothing to do with Phil Foden. Whether he should have won it last year or not.
I think he unfairly won it.
So wait, are we splitting hairs, or do you think Foden was deserving of being nominated?
We're not splitting hairs. For me, I think City could have won the league without Foden. They couldn't have won the league without Rodri.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's
this
fair.
is reality, bro. You can all you want.
Fair to be your point. I remember you.
Yeah, that's why I'm agreeing with Egal. Despite he is a fraud.
We're not going to do the whole comparison. Who was more important, or who was more valuable?
Phil Foden.
Who's more important or valuable, Brennan Johnson or Timo Werner?
Phil Foden is the most protected Premier League player this season to come the next year and not play well. Because Hazard got corn.
That's the most important.
Bale got corn when he didn't do that. Every Manchester United player who didn't win the league after winning PFA Player of the Year got corn. Arsenal players, when they got PFA Player of the Year the following season, if they didn't win the league, they got corn. Phil Foden is when Premier League Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year, has gone 22 games and only now has gone on a good run of form. And we're saying, oh, look, this is what he was supposed to be doing all season. No, he's the most overprotected player to ever win these awards in Premier League history. And the way we treat him like he's an academy player who just broke through. And every time they talk about him, it's like, oh, you know what? Jacob, this is the perfect time. Maybe you should say, is it a color thing?
No.
Is it a color thing?
Let me make the point. The difference is the players that you mentioned back in the day, I believe the fan base are a lot more intelligent now. The fan base have a lot more information now. The fan base know that this player was dealing with some issues off the pitch, though they weren't overly criticized or criticizing him for the performance that they saw. They also knew the player that he is. Now, do you think that we're seeing something out of the norm? Do you think this is a purple patch for Phil Foden, or do you think this is him? Because I believe this is him. He happened when he's not healthy, when he's got issues, kids, you see the difference. When he's playing his ball, you see why he's Player of the Year. Now we'll continue. We'll have hey, may God allow me to be here every week for this show. We'll see how this continues. We'll see how we speak about Phil Foden moving forward. But Egal, if you do a window, if you do a form prop, I'm on your neck.
Bro, this is why I'm having an issue with what you're saying. I'm not talking about form prop. I'm talking about former Premier League player of the season not being held to the standard of talking about a 5-game window. I'm not ever holding Bukayo Saka to a 5-game window. I don't rate him on the same level as a Foden.
I will hear what happens. When you do that for a Saliba, when you do that for a Gabriel.
I would never do that for a Saliba. I would never do that for a Gabriel. I would never do that for players who I rate at a high level. You do a 5-game windows for players you don't think are deserving to be on that level, and they're outperforming their expectations for 5 games. For example, when Madueke at the beginning of the season was scoring those goals for Wolves, and he had a couple good games on form for those couple games, he was playing really well. When you have Luis Diaz doing what he was doing at Liverpool for a couple games to start the season, where he's back-to-back scoring goals, that was why you talk about form. You don't hold that form standard to players like Mo Salah, Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden. If you put Foden in that bracket, you don't put him in a 5-game bracket and say, wow, look at this 5 games. You look at him at a longer sample size because he's one of those better players.
Cole Palmer in the same bracket as Mo Salah and Phil Foden.
When we get to the Chelsea
okay, listen, all the City talk is really cute, but can we get someone to speak, please?
Do you agree with me, Hussam? He's trying to say 5 games. Oh, look at this. Now we can never big up 5 games.
Can I say something real quick on this as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
5 games. I'm saying big up 5 games.
I agree. I agree with both. I agree with both. Like Egal and Vator are both making certain points that I agree with. I think all Egal is really saying is when you praise a player like Foden for all the things that he's done and the awards that he's won, you have to hold him to a certain standard. And 5 games isn't good enough for us to just be like, oh yeah, Foden's back. And you're right. I agree with you. We're like, let's see how this plays on. That's where I'm at. I thought he had a good game. He hit the post. He scored a goal. But I also, at the same time, thought Chelsea defended like shit in those situations. The goal that Haaland scored, give Robert Sanchez tax. The goal that Foden scored, I don't know what Levi Cole was doing. But we're going to get into the Chelsea section when Lewis talks about it. But yeah, it's just more so like, I get it. First of all, Vator, one thing I disagree with is he's not been the best player in the Premier League since 2025. It's been Isak. Isak's been killing it. Absolutely, it has to be Isak scoring goals left and right. But at the same time, Foden, I see the form that he's on.
Okay.
He's playing well, but you can't also forget like the form that he was in before this. The PSG game that Egal mentioned, where was he then? When you were 1-12, where was he then? That same Phil Foden that we think is, PFA Player of the Year, all those type of things. Where was he then? And that's for the rest of the team too. But I think that's where Egal's coming from. That's why I agree with him in this certain situation. But there's some certain points where you've made too, is that he's starting to get back into that form. Let's see if he can actually, if you're on a so-called like top 4 race, and if you make it, let's see if he plays a pivotal part for it, because that's the player that we hold him to the standard too. So that's where I stand. So I agree. I agree with both you guys. Yeah.
I also want to prop up the performance that I got from my keeper. All right, there's a reason why.
I forgot what that feeling's like.
Oh, Lewis, I hear you, man. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I got to prop up this man behind me right here, Ederson. And shout out to everybody that likes complete footballers. Everybody that likes players that can do more than just their role. He's an anomaly. He's a difference maker.
No one cares about that for a goalkeeper. No one, and he's not an anomaly.
No one cares about.
He was not an anomaly against PSG when he let a goal in at the near post. There's nothing anomaly about that. You could find 100 goalkeepers like Ederson in the Spanish league who can pass the ball. There's nothing.
Well, until they make it to the Prem,
Lewis's goalkeeper can also pass the ball, but he can't save for shit.
Until they share the record. Until they share the record for most assists,
he cannot pass the ball.
No, but I'm saying that's his strength, but shot stopping is not. So, all this whole pass the ball bullshit being an anomaly, it's not an anomaly.
Let's downplay. Let's downplay what Ederson does from a Liverpool.
This is my goalkeeper, people.
Ederson's incredible. He shares the record for most assists from a keeper.
He is the Premier League legend. Man won 6 league titles, got a treble, won all those trophies for Man City.
Okay,
he is.
This whole trophy logic is such bullshit. Because if
he has the most assists as a goalkeeper,
if our logic is just gonna be league titles for who the fuck is a legend and who isn't, then Shikh can bring
Ryan Giggs is the best player of all time.
But that's not the point. No,
bro. Man City dominated.
As a United fan can bring you 50 players who are legends. It's pointless.
Bro, it's not that.
No, 1 second. Let me say something. Egal,
he had a lot of golden boots also.
My point, let me explain it first, Shikh. Let me explain it. When you look at certain teams that are very good, the legends are their best players. The legends are the best of the best. Because when you say words like Premier League legend, you're talking about someone that is up there. You're talking about... Mute your mic. We're talking about the best of the best. Who's a Liverpool Premier League legend? Who? Salah, Van Dijk, Trent,
Matip.
Those are the Premier League legends. You don't see me say, "Hey, Elliot won a league title. He's a legend." And the same thing for your club. When you went invincible and you were dominant, who's your legend? Who would be considered a Premier League legend? Not an Arsenal legend, a Premier League one. Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira. The best of the best. Because Premier League legend is not like Edu is a Premier League legend. He was invincible. That's not how this works.
Are you putting Alisson?
Can I just
make my case? Not a Premier League legend.
Usam, my point is individual awards in the Premier League. He has 3 Golden Gloves. He has 2 Team of the Seasons. He has 6 Premier Leagues. Also, as a goalkeeper, he's been Man City's goalkeeper for the decade where they've had their massive dominance, and he is a big part of it. He also has one of the most assists as a goalkeeper. I know that's weird stat, but he does have that also.
It's an anomaly.
And overall,
has the most goals for a goalkeeper.
And overall,
he's the most
I think you have to normalize the fact that when a player is his team is so dominant for so many years, and he's an integral part to that team, he is going to eventually be remembered as one of the key pillars.
I think he is. People forget Pep signed him too.
You're not getting the difference. I explained it to you, but completely ignored it.
No, but I also included his individual.
Who are the 50 players that should be considered Premier League legends? Aguero, Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri. We're talking about the best of the best, bro.
And be a Premier League legend.
Okay, to be a Premier League legend is like to be a Hall of Famer. It's like to be the best, like we're talking about the elites.
Okay,
Ederson is one of the elites. Because
Harry
I
Kane.
can compare.
Before Alisson is considered
who's the
a
second
legend,
best keeper
Ederson
to
is
Alisson
ahead of
this
him.
decade?
I think he would. He would be considered.
Hussam, who's the second best
fair
keeper to
enough.
Alisson this decade?
I think he would be considered a Man City legend.
Hussam, just answer this.
6 years.
Who's the second best keeper to Alisson this decade?
Ederson.
So is he not in the books?
It's also
If-
like
if they're one and
another
two-
Yeah,
goalkeeper
see?
do they
Yeah, you
have
got
do
him,
they
you got him. Let's
consider
move on.
You're
legendary?
talking about this decade. No, he didn't get me because we're talking about this decade. Who's the second best? Okay, in the 90s, the
Do
Premier
you
League
think
started.
Martinez has been better this decade?
One second. In the 90s, the best keeper was who? Peter Schmeichel. Who was the second best keeper in the league in the 90s?
David Seaman?
David Seaman in the 90s? No, that's more like early 2000s, I'd say.
Early 90s, no?
For 10 years, Ederson has been that guy. He's going to go down as a Prem legend.
You just referred to Ederson as that guy, which is the most
But I
shameless
think he's a
statement.
Man
Oh
City
my gosh.
legend. I wouldn't. know
Yes,
about
he's a
Premier League.
City legend. I agree,
He's a
but
City
not a
legend.
Premier
Hold on.
League
I
legend.
don't know about,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
we're
hold
talking
on.
about
Let me
Prem
let me
legends.
let me try to
Yeah,
level
Prem
set.
le-
Sheikh,
I'm sorry.
Sheikh, let me level set.
Yeah.
Would Alisson be considered a Prem legend?
Yes, because Alisson can talk to Czech and Schmeichel.
Yeah, Alisson, like, yeah.
And I
besides
think
just
Alisson,
trophies,
hold on.
Alisson's
When we
been the
talk,
best goalkeeper.
so Alisson in Prem is considered a legend, but you're looking at what Ederson did in the Prem, and you're not going to consider him a legend.
No, but
You're-
I think
you're-
we're
you're
but I
fraudulent.
think we're looking solely just at trophies and how much.
No, I'm
defenders
not
he
looking at
can and how
trophies.
much he
I'm
Thank you,
looking-
Sheikh. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
looking
think-
at that at all.
I think
I'm not looking
no,
at
I think
trophies.
we're solely-
Individual
I think it
accolades,
has a
he has
part
it
to
also.
play. No, it's a part to play, but it's also like Alisson's been better than Ederson in his whole.
One second, let me give you an example.
Yes.
We always say
Fernandinho-
Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the league. We always say that.
One second.
Yeah, people say that. Not
Fernandinho-
me.
We don't ever say Ederson's the best.
I
Fernandinho
do.
is not gonna.
Plus,
I don't
he-
consider
He
Fernandinho a Premier
starts for
League
Brazil
legend,
too.
right?
If we get into that as well, he starts for Brazil.
Fernandinho is
over
not a
Ederson.
Prem legend.
No. I don't even consider Vincent Kompany a Premier League legend. But but Ederson, I'll put him in there over Vincent Kompany.
Vincent Kompany's totally a Premier League legend. What the hell?
And so
Center
is,
backs is tougher to get in than goalkeepers.
Yeah, but Vincent Kompany can talk to Terry and Van Dijk and Rio. Like he can talk to them. He doesn't have to be better.
So
but
why
he can talk to them.
why can Vincent Kompany talk to him, but Ederson can't?
Because I don't think Ederson can talk to Alisson or
You
Czech
do
or
know
Schmeichel.
Ederson has more individual accolades than Vincent Kompany.
Okay, I'll debunk this
But
straight
see,
away.
that's where I'm just,
Who
like,
has
not
more?
just
Who
about
has more
individual.
Premier League Golden Gloves? Pepe Reina or Petr Cech? The floor is yours, Egal. Pepe
I
Reina.
don't know how
David
many.
De Gea.
Pepe Reina. Is Pepe Reina better than Cech because he has more individual accolades? I'd never say that. Even as a Liverpool fan, I'd never say that.
I don't know what
You
Pepe
winning
Reina's
the
own-
golden glove. It's because your defense conceded the least goals. It does not mean that you're the best keeper because that's just weak
Slide
logic.
down, Rayner's got more golden gloves.
Yeah, he has. Go check, bro. He has more golden gloves than Czech. Remember Benitez terrorist football?
Harry
We're
Kane
gonna
won
have to
Golden
watch
Boot
that.
and
Hussam,
Playmaker of the Year, and no one
Hussam.
put
No, it's
respect
like-
on his
yeah,
name.
it's like
They all
we
said
said-
Ruben
Hussam, you know-
Diaz.
you know
What
why?
the fuck did
We
Ruben
say
Diaz do?
Vator.
you
Guys,
guys
Ruben
step
Diaz
up
didn't
all
do
over
shit.
my
Guys,
prop for my
guys,
keeper and these
Hussam,
players behind me.
Sam, once again, you've given us an example.
He won
that doesn't-
3 in a row.
You've given us
Yes,
an
that's
example.
what I'm saying. Pepe Reina.
One second. You've given us an example of a player
Yes.
who had a 3-year span where they're really good. Ederson has had at least 9 years where he's been one
I
of the best
understand
goalkeepers
what you're saying.
in the
but
league.
Because
Harry
He-
Kane
By the
won
way, Jack has
Playmaker of
more
the
than
Year,
you,
Golden
fraud.
Boot, and
He's
they were
made-
like, "Oh,
he's
Ruben
made
Diaz,
all of
such
your
a good
clubs go
Harry
out
player."
and get a
Kane
ball
has-
playing.
Harry
Harry
Kane
Kane
hasn't
is
won
a
a
Premier
Premier
League
League,
legend.
but he would
Wait,
be considered-
hold on. Czech has more fraud.
No, he doesn't.
He
I'm
has
sure.
more. I'm looking at the chart now. He has more.
Czech got one at Arsenal.
In the
also, just like that.
2000s, no, he doesn't.
Oh, and did you say just the 2000s? Or
No,
just...
his
this
whole
fraud was
career.
talking about
That's what he
10-year
meant.
period.
Ah, my bad.
Yeah, he
No,
was talking
Fucking
about
how the hell
10-year
has he
period.
got more? What
Hussam,
the hell?
Stop nitpicking.
And by the way, that was during the Chelsea
Hussam.
dominant era as well.
Hussam,
Yeah,
just
I know. It's
because
still
Ederson
impressive
is a
from
goal-
Reina, but I was thinking,
One
no
second.
way.
Just because Ederson will be considered a Premier League legend doesn't take away from Alisson. You do
Exactly.
I'm
realize
not
that.
saying it takes away from
No, but
Alisson.
it
You're
almost
missing
makes it
my
seem like
point.
you're
You're
being
very
protected.
defensive.
You are
Hussam.
missing my point completely. I
So
am
what
saying to be a
discredits him?
Premier League, okay, to be a Premier League legend is different to be a legend for your own
Sustained
club.
success.
Okay, meaning I give perfect example. Okay, I give you an example from my own club, so you guys don't start crying. I think Robertson could be considered to be a Liverpool legend, but I don't think necessarily that Andy
Definitely
Robertson
Definitely
is
not.
a Premier League legend.
No.
League.
To be a
agree.
Premier
It's a
League
big
legend
difference.
means
Big difference.
you are the best of the best in your position. You are one of the greatest. I'll give you maybe an example from Chelsea so you get what I'm saying in terms of levels.
Ederson is
Eden
the
Hazard-
Trent of keepers.
Eden Hazard is a Premier League legend and a Chelsea legend. Costa, you could probably consider more a Chelsea legend than a Premier League legend.
Ederson is the Trent Alexander of keepers.
Yeah, but to talk about Premier League, like you're talking about the best of the best out of 20 teams. Like that's what they're saying.
And I think he's been one of the best, Hussam. And my criteria is very simple. When we look back at this dominant period of Man City, when you look at the spine, the core players, I think Ederson's in that conversation as one of the core pieces to make them win. Because don't forget, they never started winning until he came in. They were having issues with goalkeepers. He came in. They were having issues with other areas also, but Ederson was one of the core pieces, and he was there for their whole level of success. Now, if he was to leave halfway through and they brought in another keeper and they still had the same level of success, fair. But I think Ederson is just as integral to some of these league titles as some of their other players in their team. And their defense has changed, their centre backs changed, their fullbacks changed. The one mainstay in that defense has been Ederson. So as much as we want to criticize Ederson,
I'll end it on this. I'll say you present a solid argument, so does Vator. Maybe we look at this in different ways, and that's it. Because I think what I consider a Premier League legend versus what you consider a Premier League legend is just two different things. Because I'm not even saying everyone that won a league or a Champions League for Liverpool is a Premier League legend. You get me? So that's what I'm saying. Like, Premier League legend for me, I'm just looking at like, top 3, top 5, like in your position ever. I'm talking about the best of the best. So that's why I'm saying that's my logic. But anyway, guys, 45 minutes in.
One of the best, you're saying the best.
Yeah.
Who?
There can be more than one legend by position. There can be more than one legend by position. But
of course. But I'm saying, okay, if me and Shikh do a stream tomorrow, who's a better goalkeeper, Peter Schmeichel or Alisson? He's willing to hear me out. I don't think he's willing to hear me out for Ederson. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I hear you.
So I'm just talking about levels to this game. You get what I'm saying? That's
like
the point.
Hussam compared Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson as Premier League legends.
But you want to know something?
One won a Premier League, one didn't. But obviously, Steven Gerrard is that legend.
Steven Gerrard is a Premier League
legend. He's a Premier League.
Yeah, exactly.
Ian Wright is considered a Premier League legend, right?
Correct.
100%. But at the same time, he's not the best.
That's true. He was incredible for the club. He was incredible.
You're very lucky that Lee Gunnar is not listening to this.
1 second. You have Alan Shearer, you have Henry, you have all these other guys. He's not the best, but he's still in that conversation. Why? That's why Ederson is in there. Like, for example,
but he's one of the best.
Yeah. See, but then there's so many examples to flip.
There's so many examples of players that are really good, right? They don't have the same. They don't have to have the same sustained success. They don't have to have everything. Like Jamie Vardy, amazing example. Thank you in the chat. He's going to go down as a Premier League legend. They won one league title, and he had to
fuck off. He's racist.
He's a Premier League legend.
But I'm not talking about it. But here's the thing. That's why, if you notice, my genuine example mentions 0 trophies. Harry Kane, for me, with 0 trophies, is a Premier League legend.
Wow.
You get me? Because when we're talking about legends of the league, we're talking about the best player in his position for a prolonged period of time or blah, 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 whatever it is. We're talking about consistency over a long period of time. Ederson made consistent mistakes. Ederson as a goalkeeper is known for his passing. You get it? So he's different.
Because it's so exceptional, but it doesn't take away him as a keeper.
I'll take this to an even bigger level. If you ask me who's the best passing keeper of all time, I'll say Ederson. No problem. The best passer of the football from goal in football history.
An anomaly. Yeah.
But his shot stopping, his reflexes, big moments, stuff like this, he doesn't have.
No, that's not true.
Anyway. You know what? I'm disappointed we still haven't talked about Chelsea.
But that's why I'm trying to go to Lewis. Guys, 600 people in here. Big up everyone in the chat. Let's get the likes up. Big up all the super chatters. I see some of you guys as well dropping in, the 30 pieces and stuff. Big up to all of you guys. We'll come to you guys in a second. But there's someone, speaking of goalkeepers who are legends, Robert Sanchez. Talk to me. By the way, just so you know, on my watch along,
as long as I could.
Just so you know, I want to tell you something. On my watch along, I did say, guys, Lewis was right. He wasn't scapegoating him. Go ahead.
No, I watched it back. I always keep a lookout.
We're
not done with the City Chelsea section. It's like 50 minutes and we've got 4 other games to go through. I was just letting you lot go.
Yeah, maybe
exactly. KDM, by the way. Thank you to KDM. Fact.
I tried, Lewis. I tried.
Fact. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got another 4 games we got to go through. We've done the City Chelsea section.
No. We done the City section, not the Chelsea section.
It's the same game, though.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Liverpool. Go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah, why talk about Liverpool?
I hate those guys.
Ipswich. Come on, everyone beat Ipswich. Go ahead.
They've already won the league. It's over.
No, correction. We lost to Ipswich this year. You fool. You said everyone beats Ipswich. That's not true,
man.
So did Lewis
we
as well.
didn't beat Ipswich either.
So did Lewis. Go ahead, Lewis.
Daniel Levy out.
Thank you. I mean, yes, please. Levy, Enoch, all of them. Get them all
Levy
out.
out. Levy out.
Just burn
Sam,
it.
I don't think I'm going to get a word in. We might as well just go to the Tottenham section.
I don't think I'm going to get a word in either. We should just go back to the Chelsea section.
Guys.
I'm not going to say anything.
Can we please just let Lewis talk? Go ahead, Lewis.
Oh, damn it. All right, cool. So, lost again. Standard. I said we were meant to win this game. We had to win this game, and we just went and we shat the bed after 20 minutes. Started well, mainly due to just forcing an error out of Kuzunov. But then we decide afterwards to go all buddy-buddy with him and be like, oh, don't worry, mate. It's only your first game. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna comfort you, and then he can fucking body you 20 minutes afterwards into the game as well. There you are. That's what you get for comforting our opposition. But I can already tell we got a bit of a mentality issue. But Vator was right. You gotta give Pep the props for this one because they started poorly. And then they clocked the amount of space that they were being afforded on the flanks. And they just pushed Vardio further forward. They pushed Nunes further forward. And because our press was very, very disjointed, it ended up being that they could easily find gaps within the flanks to try and expose us with. Caicedo was getting dragged out of position in some periods. Then other periods, he weren't really tracking Gundogan, which meant that Gundogan had all the time and space to be able to find those passes, and it led to the equalizing goal. But it was coming for long periods. We were playing a high line without a really cohesive press, which meant that eventually you can find a way through it, and then we're left isolated. And it just kept happening, and it kept happening. And after 20 minutes, we didn't really have anything to really respond back with Man City. Palmer, Jackson obviously had the 2v1 that they both managed to fuck up. Palmer with a shit pass, and Jackson, who just is allergic to shooting with his left foot and just refuses. I get it with his right, he's outstretched too much. He won't be able to get it. So use your left foot because you're just pushing it towards the goal, and he doesn't do that. We go into the second half, come out, and it's just kind of the same thing. We're still playing high up, and Pep is doing the more direct thing because he can tell we're not ready for that. And our defenders just can't handle Haaland in terms of his all-round game. Colwill weak, Chalobah weak. Like we said, issues on the wings and poor off-the-ball work from Noni Madueke on the right-hand side meant that Vardiol could just have free reign on the left. And then we go to our goalkeeper, the scapegoat, Robert Sanchez, who even in a game where everything else seems to not be working, he stands out as the one who is going to be the decisive factor. Because where the fuck are you going for the second goal? You are never getting to that ball in your life. Trevor Chalobah even gives you the chance to get back. He puts enough pressure on Haaland that you can get back in the goal. But obviously, your brain can't function and you can't think two things at the same time. So you're just stuck there lagging. And Haaland has an open goal. With Haaland is going to do Haaland things. But Maresca still starts him. And there's more and more rumors coming out that this is something that's above his head because we have Ben Roberts, the head of global goalkeeping, who basically fancies Robert Sanchez at this point, sees him as a love child. They're both very emotional, cry about each other and their achievements in the game. You might as well just get in bed with each other at this point. You might already be in bed with each other because it's not like Robert Sanchez likes clean sheets in the first place. But I digress. We go into 2-1 and the game was already seeming fucked by that point. So what do? We bring Jackson.
That was a good one, bro. You can't just come over that. That was a good one. No one laughed. I was on mute, but that was fucking hilarious.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, big up Maresca.
Yeah, Jackson off.
Oh, were you listening, Hussein, or were you on the phone? Couldn't tell.
Of course,
Jackson off, which I didn't mind, but Nkunku came on for him. Just like, what's the fucking point? You have literally told me that Nkunku isn't a striker. Why are you bringing him on as a striker? Even on Chelsea TV, when I was watching the game back, the commentators were saying, why is it not you coming on? he's got more of a press on him. He's a lot stronger. He suits the striker role more than Nkunku. Yet here we are playing an Nkunku who's basically got 1 foot out the door instead. What is the fucking point of that? Then we get to the 3rd goal, done in transition again. This time, Chalobah decides, I see an entire half of the pitch empty. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run at the ball that's already being dealt with by Levi Colwill. I say dealt with, not very well, but at least he had a man on him. Like, you didn't have to go onto the same guy. If there's a free half of the pitch and they're playing direct football, do you not think there's going to be a second runner? Like it's been the whole fucking game. Poor management and poor mentality from these players. Maresca didn't take advantage of City being shook within the first 5 minutes because that's when we should have amplified the pressure on them. We didn't. And we let City get back into the game. And honestly, all in all, it's just an overall failure from everybody. I don't think anybody except maybe James, maybe Enzo, and even Enzo got dribbled past a few too many times for my liking. Maybe Caicedo. I don't really think anybody else stood out for me. And I think even then, saying that they stood out for me is being nice. It was just an overall failure from the squad as a whole. But hey, Alejandro Garnacho will be the solution to all of that. Don't worry.
I want to talk about Chelsea in a second, but just before Vator goes, I know because guys will be really upset if I don't do this. So there's just a couple of super chats addressing Vator just before he goes, and then I'll respond to the Chelsea thing because I have a lot to say. Big up to Tyler Jones, says Vator monologue worse than Hamza. Oh. Vator, if you would like to respond to some of these.
Tyler Jones, tune in next week. I continuously work on my monologues, so tune in next week. It'll be a lot better.
Fairs. Big up to Kamal, who says, Vator, just give it up. Egal, just don't get it.
Thank you, Kamal. You know what? I realized late that he wasn't going to see my point, but I did address that I'll be watching moving forward. Thank you.
W's in the chat for Taj Cunningham, who says, Master Vator. Smug like a bug in a rug. Your response, Vator?
That could be interpreted in many ways.
Is it a color thing?
But thanks for the super chat. I'm feeling good, man. I got to win. I got to win in Champions League, though.
You are smug, though, when you do win. He is right. You're very smug.
Am I the only one, Hussam? You after a win? Oh, unbearable.
I'm smug when I'm doing leopard in the tree. Make it make sense.
You after
That's
win.
the exact opposite of smug, you fraud.
No, you are smug because you're so confident. You're trying to downplay it. I know what you do. It's you're the worst when you're winning.
I hear you. And then we have a response here from Shikh, and then after that, the others I'll do in a bit, guys. So just bear with me. He says Foden was unfit and ill with COVID at the start of the season. He only started playing in October. If he sustains his level until March, then he can be mentioned.
I respect that. And I also
and that was so why. So when Shikh says it with £10, you respect it, but when Egal says it for free, you don't respect it.
Because when Shikh said it, he brought in some context with regards to COVID, and I mentioned when Foden's dealing with some family issues because he had a sick child early on. That's why I'm also being like, hey, let's relax on this player. Egal was moving fraudulently early in the season, talking about, did he deserve that trophy? Is he really that guy? That's why. That is why. But thank you, Shikh. Good looking out. Balanced. You know what? Respect to those in the super chat. These are very balanced comments, other than the one talking about me being smug. But thank you so very much.
W's in the chat for Taj for calling him Master Vator because he's clearly pissed off. So W's in the chat for Taj.
That's crazy, actually. Yeah,
big up Taj, man. He's piss off this fraud. Big up to you.
I will be back next week.
Vator, I know you have to leave us, guys. Vator Games is in the description. Go subscribe to his channel. You get me for more fraudulence on his channel. He's just as fraudulent, by the way. So go watch him.
I only need 5 minutes on Chelsea. Let me go.
Yeah, let me go first, please, Egal. Wallah, I have to talk about Chelsea. Let me just say this. Big up to you, Vator. Listen, here's the thing when it comes to the Chelsea part of things from this game. Credit to Lewis because pre-game he did say we must, so I respect that. He was not doing the underdog thing because he realized the way City were, and he even explained it in his logic. Like I watched his obviously today with my breakfast, I needed something to watch, so I watched the Chelsea Fan TV interview. He gave me. Big up Lewis. So I was watching it. You get me, and I enjoyed it. It was very passionate from Lewis, and he did say something. I'm gonna talk about the Clear Lake thing in a second, but I did say something. He said he after watching the PSG game, he was like, "We must." And when I watched the first like 5 minutes, I'm like, "Yo, Chelsea are on it, mate. Chelsea are on it. Like they're 1-0 up within 5 minutes." And then Palmer goes through on goal. Instead of him having killer instinct and shooting, he decides to pass it, overcook it to Jackson as well. Like that was a shit pass on top of things. You get
that was
me?
more my bigger problem. I don't mind the pass. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying if you have killer instinct, you have to take that. And I think if Palmer shot that, he would have scored probably.
Probably. Look what Jackson did.
I was screaming shoot as well.
Like, I was screaming shoot. I was like, screaming shoot. The issue is, after 15 minutes, it was all City. Chelsea just had no dominance whatsoever. And it's not just Kusanov waking up, because we have to give credit to the young kid. He was shit at the start, then he woke up. Chelsea actually just
wanted to go buddy with him, the fucking dumb piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Chelsea Chelsea didn't have that killer instinct where, okay, you're getting 10-15 minutes of dominance against City, step on their neck, you scored a goal, now step on their neck, score the second. So even if they do try to come back, you make it impossible. Then you play, defensive football, you counter-attack. I agree as well with Lewis on the players that he's talking about, like maybe that deserve a bit of credit. I think Enzo was okay, The rest of them, to be honest with you, like they can all hold it. And I think for the first time watching Chelsea, there is something that I noticed. I actually think Maresca's substitutions made them worse. I haven't seen this at all this season. Like, this is the first time I fully noticed, like, this guy made like 3 subs and they made Chelsea considerably worse. Because Gusto inverted, and Mo pointed this out when he was explaining like his thoughts on Chelsea, and he's right when I looked back at it. Madueke had to dribble past like 4 people to create a chance because of the whole Gusto inverting thing. So it just didn't work. It literally made Chelsea significantly worse. And even towards the end, it was like completely, it was just City attack, even when they were 2-1 up and they were 3-1 up. And I went back to just watch my commentary for the Sanchez thing before the goal was even scored, right? Listen to what I was just saying, because I want to just address this, and then I'll give the floor to Egal. Watch this. This right here is the moment I see Sanchez out of his goal. Oh my God. Why is Sanchez so out of his goal? Why is Sanchez so out of his goal? Robert Sanchez, you're an absolute stupid bastard. There. This is my response. So life is about perspective. Sometimes you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes to explain something. I am Robert Sanchez. I want to put myself in Robert Sanchez's body and mind and just think, okay, where are we going with this? So I'm Sanchez. I'm predicting that Haaland is going to dribble past Chalobah. No problem. I'm going to give you that. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, Haaland dribbles past Chalobah. How is me being almost at the corner flag going to stop Haaland from scoring? How in any way, shape, or form is me being near the corner flag going to stop Erling Haaland from scoring? So you think he's going to get past Chalobah? No problem. He gets past him, whether it's left side or right side. You being there is going to help the situation. How? How exactly is it going to help the situation? You have not helped the situation whatsoever, because if he gets past him to the left, then he's going to dink you. And if he gets past them to the right, then he's going to play it across and Marmoush scores because the goal is empty. So there is absolutely no logic whatsoever for you being there, except the fact that you are crap. And I'm glad that Lewis has criticized Palmer, because he deserved to get called out for his big game performance. Jackson, I apologize to Haaland for saying Jackson is better, because he went like 7 games without a goal, and his form need to pick up, or Chelsea are in massive trouble, considering the fact they aren't signing anyone except Garnacho. When it comes to Clear Lake, I gave credit to Abdi Haas yesterday. I know Lewis, for the most part, has been balanced about this conversation. If you have called out Clear Lake all along, respect. Some people don't go on about it 24/7. You get me? And that's fair, because sometimes you have to address what you see on the pitch. But the ones, big up to the young one, but the ones that when it comes to Clear Lake, the ones that have consistently criticized them, spoke about Win Stanley and Stewart, like Lewis, like Abdias, like others, I get it. But there are certain Chelsea fans, like Papa Beard, and like others in my chat, who have disappeared since that day. Don't come back to me and now start talking about Clear Lake and the scouts Because I haven't heard you talk about Clear Lake and the scouts. You've spent this whole season telling me, Hussam, apologize to Chelsea. You were wrong about Poch. And we were right about Maresca. That's what you said all year long. So don't come tell me Clear Lake now. You have to keep the same energy, you specifically in the chat. Papa Beard, you are a fraud if you're listening to this. You're the biggest fraud, Papa Beard. You're the biggest fraud. You should call yourself Papa No Beard because you have been a no-show for the last 3 days because you're a fraud. Anyway, now we can say go ahead, Egal. Sorry, I just had to call out Papa Beard because he's a fraud. Okay, Egal doesn't want to talk. Shikh.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I think looking at that game, Gal's back. But yeah, I'll also just say real quick, looking at that game, 100% the way Chelsea started, you thought it was going to be 2 or 3-0 easy, and then after that, I don't know, just everything switched off. I was someone when Maresca joined the club, I was, I backed him a little bit. I could see what he was trying to do, but some of the things that he's been saying recently is definitely concerning, a red flag. The whole talk about we're not supposed to reach top 4 this season. It's an objective for the next season, and we're going to challenge in like a couple of seasons. Definitely like a red flag for sure. Considering the things that the actions that he took when he first joined, and the run that you guys went on and like in the middle of the season as well. I don't think he was saying certain things like that then, but
Sheikh, to be fair, he said that since August. That's come from the sporting directors.
Okay, fair.
And this is my problem because they're chatting bullshit. You sacked Poch because he didn't reach his targets of top 4. Tell me why the standards have gone down and you've spent another 250 million. Tell me why we don't have a sponsor because we're not getting the UCL money that we would UCL sponsorship money, but we're not expected to make top 4. Tell me why we're waiting for Jordan, who are waiting for us to get into the top 4, but the target's not top 4. You're chatting shit. But I know it's not from Maresca. I know it's from the sporting directors. They're the ones that said that to him. Because why was the target for Poch top 4 then? Makes no sense. They're talking out of their ass.
Fair enough. My bad. I actually didn't know if it was from the board or from Maresca itself. But yeah, I mean, then, you have to look at them as well. Because, again, as much as I can sit here and troll Lewis about us trying to sell Garnacho to him, it's not the answer to anything at all. I think Garnacho, first of all, don't even want to get into the type of player that he is, but how does he fix this? How does he fix these type of performances? And I mean, the same way that another thing I want to mention also, last thing, is the same way that we were talking about Foden and Egal was bringing up Foden. I think we have to talk about Palmer in this game as well, because you go 2-0 up in that moment. Regardless of if Sanchez has a hour later or not, you're in a much, much better position going into that second half. And you could change your tactics a little bit, be a little bit more defensive instead of trying to that high press and all of those type of things. So definitely a big chance. I think Jackson as well in that same situation could have done better. I don't know why he didn't try to shoot the ball there. And that's what I would really say about Chelsea, to be honest. Like, terrible performance for sure. Sancho didn't show up. I thought he was quiet the whole game. Madueke, wasn't he the player who was playing him on side for the first goal or whatever? So yeah, man, I mean, terrible from Chelsea all around. And the things that are going around the club too, the way that the board is moving, it's definitely a red flag. Concerning times for sure, 100%. But we'll see. We'll move.
I always told Lewis, Chelsea win things, he said to me, but Chelsea win things under Roman. We've not seen you win things yet under these new ownership. So obviously, everyone's saying you're going to go on to win the Conference League, and I expect you guys to do that. Mm-hmm. But until these ownership fully get you in the right track, I'm not going to say they're 100% doing everything perfect. One thing I will say is there's some things that you Chelsea fans have said this season, and this game is showing that some of the things that you guys have been saying this season you don't believe. For example, you yourself have said Jackson is the best striker in London. Jackson's the second best striker in the league. At times, you even tried to put him in the same conversation as Erling Haaland. But in the same stream right now, you're basically backtracking on that. So you're saying you're wrong for that.
Nope, on form. Let's be legit. I said on form.
Oh, okay. So
well, for Haaland, for the best striker in London, I said that. And to be honest, who else has stepped up since then?
Okay, what about the second best striker in the league? Isak? You forgot about Isak?
Isak, yeah.
Isak's overtaken it. That was a form thing too. That was all like on form. He can chat to Haaland. On form, he can chat to anybody.
Next, you said you have the best squad, one of the best squads, one of the best attacks. Your attack hasn't shown up recently. Your squad, your manager doesn't trust your squad. So are you regretting those comments also?
No, the attack squad's being fucked over, so I hear that.
Okay, so you backtrack on those?
I also do think Maresca could be doing a bit more with the likes of João Felix, for example, but ultimately, you're correct.
All right. Next, Levi Colwell better than Saliba. Levi Colwell in the same conversation as Saliba.
I never said that.
Levi Colwell clearing the line.
Said that.
Maybe you didn't say it, but people were saying
it.
Maybe.
I never put him in a conversation with Saliba.
People were putting him in the same conversation.
Egal, why do you say that and smirk? Because you know you're lying.
You're lying.
He's trying to hold me accountable to what Don said. Ain't that what Don said? I swear that wasn't me.
Yeah. 1 second.
Okay, I didn't say
everything. I didn't say everything was from you, but Chelsea fans in general did put him in the same conversation as Saliba, and now they're calling him a bum. So
no, even Chelsea fans in general didn't put that conversation.
Well, they did, bro.
No, 90%.
All the Chelsea fans
I think Don said it, so that's why he's still holding on to it.
I was seeing Colwell to start the season when he was playing for England, clearing the ball off the line. Chelsea doing well to start the season. People were putting Levi Colwell in the same conversation as Saliba, genuinely, and I'm not making this up. I can go and find you a bunch of tweets right now if you want me to. So
I actually would like to see those tweets.
Fair enough, I'll go find them for you. But in the meanwhile, one thing I will tell you guys is that was always ridiculous. Levi Colwell is very suspect, and I expect that from a young player. I don't expect him to be the finished article. I don't expect this Chelsea team to be
the is funny, fam.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't expect Chelsea.
No wonder he's salty about it, but it wasn't Lewis though.
1 second. I don't expect Chelsea to go and change out of nowhere. This is what Chelsea are. They go and they bully smaller teams, and when they face Liverpool, when they face Man City, when they face Arsenal, they can't get a win. They can't get a win from those teams. Maybe they can get a draw here or there, but really and truly, they've not yet to be able to get a win from one of the teams that have been competing for the league over the last couple of years. They get wins here and there versus Tottenham and Spurs, but really and truly, we know those teams are not better than Chelsea, so they should be able to get the better of them. But they've shown this consistently throughout the season. When they face a team that's on the level with them or has a better squad than them, they're not necessarily able to get over the line. And when they face the teams lower down the table, they can be flat track bullies. So until Chelsea show me that they can go and win a big game, I'm not going to expect them to ever go and do that. And this season,
just like their best player.
And this season, they started off well. And I told you guys, Chelsea starting off well also had to do with sample size of the manager and the tactics. Now that people are starting to know what they do, there's almost now a blueprint on how smaller teams can get a win or points off Chelsea. And more teams are going to try to follow the Crystal Palace.
On the blueprint point, though, I think even Lewis will agree with this. It depends on next 2-3 games. Then we can find out for sure. Because if they have 1 win in 10, okay, maybe there is a blueprint. But if they win the next 3, then you can't say that, in my opinion.
Bro, 1 second.
I'll also say this, though. Some of the games that they've lost.
What I'm saying is not ridiculous. I'm simply saying if you
I'm not saying what you're saying is ridiculous. I'm saying for me to say there's a blueprint, I'm just going to wait 3 more games. So I have a 10-game sample.
We've already seen it in front of us. Everton, set up well defensively. Chelsea can't break you down. Fulham, set up well defensively. Late in the game, chase the game, try to get a winner. Ipswich, set up well defensively. Put up very good low block against them. And if you catch them on the break,
Ipswich was our own problem.
Crystal Palace.
That wasn't them.
Crystal Palace, set up well defensively.
Crystal get a Palace, goal, no, we boxed Palace off the park and we didn't.
No. My point is, you could have gone 2-0 up.
We had 15 shots and a 1 on target. That was the goal. It was on us, the Palace game.
1 second.
That's what I wanted to say that too. Is that some of
those
games?
The point still stands. The point still stands. You performed well.
No, it doesn't. There wasn't no blueprint. We performed well that game.
You performed well, but their tactics was to keep the game close, nick a goal, and get a draw.
No, it wasn't. We were wasteful ourselves.
Bro, you can still be wasteful.
I'm giving you the Fulham game and the Everton game. I hear that. Ipswich and Palace, no, that was us. It wasn't the opposition.
Yeah, there was can I say something real quick? There was a stat where
Jackson
had
because your team doesn't execute doesn't mean that the other team's plan didn't come to fruition.
Yes, it does, because it means we've dominated.
That we're still creating.
You can dominate
full domination without the end product.
You can dominate, but you're never gonna have Ipswich dominate you. What are we doing?
It's so you can't say that it's a blueprint then. Ipswich came down to our poor, the players that we put on, a whole right-hand side of fucking Noni and Disassi, and they targeted that. And then we still made way more chances than them throughout the game. That wasn't a systemic problem. That's the players that you put on the pitch. Palace was full domination, and we were just wasteful.
Lewis.
And then they score one goal, and that's it, because we can't score.
They are never going to outplay you. Majority of these teams are never going to outplay you. Their game plan is to stay in the game, nick a goal, and set up defensively for the rest of the game.
And Palace was staying in the game because we weren't killing them off. It was nothing to do with them and their setup.
Also, you are unable to...
What do you mean exactly? That goes against your point.
Yeah, because goalkeeper's performance counts. I'm not sitting here and saying...
It wasn't the goalkeeper. 15 shots, 1 on target. You're waffling.
Dean Henderson had an amazing game.
You're talking about the game at the bridge.
Wait, can I say something real quick? Egal, if you're referring to blueprints, that means what I'm guessing is you're referring to the opposition manager out-classing Maresca in those games. I don't think he's done that. I think Maresca has...
The Fulham game was definitely out-classing.
No, but the Fulham game I'll give you. Yeah, look, I'm looking at it now. 15 shots, 1 on target.
Yeah, okay. 1 second.
Game, cool.
You guys, Lewis.
Jackson had an 8.6
Understand. I am not talking about Chelsea's performance. I'm talking about opponents setting up in a way where they feel like we keep the game close with Chelsea, we can nick a point, we can nick a win. Regardless what you do offensively.
And I'm saying Palace and Ipswich what you do offensively in any way that stifled us. We were our own problems.
Bro,
Fulham, I give you.
Don't think for
Everton,
1 second.
I give you.
Don't think for 1 second that because Ipswich at home, you got a 2-0 win. Am I saying they outplayed you? I'm just saying their tactics were always to keep the game close, nick a goal. Once they nick a goal, they know that you're going to have to struggle to break them down. Even if you have 20 shots, some of these games, you could have 50 shots. You don't look like you're going to score.
And I'm saying that's what the bigger issue is, as opposed to them stifling the way we play.
But that you have to credit... 1 second. Whenever Arsenal lose a game and we have like 20 plus shots, I don't sit here and say, "Oh, the performance was good and we were unlucky to win."
Yeah, you blame the ref.
No, it's not about the ref. It's not about the ref. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games where I'll sit here and I'll be like, "You know what? We were just shit," and you got to admit it. So you can be shit offensively.
When have I not done that though?
You can be shit offensively.
You do that. You blame the ref.
You could be shit offensively and still give credit to the opponent defensively.
Yes, and when it's deserved, I do that. You're talking to yourself on that one.
I think Chelsea fans have been
Ipswich wasn't deserved
for the chances that he's missing.
Oh, Ipswich, they completely deserved to win. We were garbage.
Okay, so that's what I mean.
Fulham, I gave Marco Silva full credit for the way that he handled that game against us. He absolutely cooked us. Sean Dyche, we got Dyched. I literally said that on here.
And you don't think Crystal Palace seen those last 3 games and said, you know what?
No, we just keep the game close.
Yeah, you outplayed them. But to them, they're like, we nick a goal in the 80th minute.
Okay, if you're saying Chelsea outplayed them, then you can't say in the second sentence they got outcoached, because that's not how it works.
I'm not saying they outcoached. I'm saying Chelsea, it's very simple. If you keep the game close late in the game, if you keep the game close with Chelsea and you set up defensively, they're always vulnerable.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question.
It was us being wasteful.
It's simple.
No, Chelsea, you meant blueprints. That's out coaching someone. That means they set up a certain way to
changing the
goalposts. Yeah, it's not. I don't think there was a blueprint.
Okay, let me ask you a question that's non-Chelsea related, so we get your logic. You watched Liverpool 1-1 Forest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Nuno outcoached Slot?
No, I think he just knew exactly what he needed to do to win the game.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's the thing then, because we dominated Forest, we created a lot of chances, we just didn't score. So you can't say we got outcoached.
But I'm not saying Chelsea got outcoached. I'm just saying there's a blueprint to beat Chelsea, and that's not necessarily getting outcoached. That's just it's easy to know. If you have a team that sets up well defensively, and Chelsea are going to struggle to break them down for 90 minutes, that team is always going to have the opportunity to nick a point or get a win.
That's literally coaching.
Whatever.
Okay, final question to Lewis before we just move on. Obviously, this comment here from Warrior saying, if we lose to Potter at the bridge, that's when I'm done. Do you share the same sentiments? Also, Your expectation for the season is the same thing, right? Top 4
Same
and
thing.
Conference
Top
League.
4 and a trophy, or get these sporting directors get them out of the club anyway. Fucking idiots have sabotaged the last 2 windows. We should be
What
clear
about
for
Todd
top
Bowley?
4 as a minimum. He's the minority shareholder. I keep saying if you're going to go after an owner, go after Igbali. He's the one that makes the decisions.
By the way, what did you rate the window?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know. I don't remember if I even rated it. I don't know. I always said throughout the summer, right? Even when we were doing like the confusing stuff like getting in on Rodion, and I never heard about this guy before, I said I will keep quiet and I will just watch as the season goes. Because from when you sacked Poch and you brought in Enzo Maresca with the lack of experience, I said, cool, top 4 in a trophy is the aim. It's the target. That's why you sacked him. If I don't get that next season, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at these sporting directors. So I just said nothing and I let the season go on. Now, as we get here, we spent 1.5 billion. We have an idiot in goal. We still don't have another striker and we're ripping apart our midfield depth. We're even taking away our centre-back depth now. Renato Vega's just gone off to Juve for the season. We've got Disasi that we're trying to loan to our top 4 rivals, just in the hope that he looks good there and we can try and recoup another 10 million for him. These men are fucking idiots. So I don't think I rated it. I think I just said, see how it goes through the season. And if it don't improve us, I'm looking at you. If I don't reach my targets, I'm looking at you. And I want you gone. And I'm ready at that point. I want you lot gone. So, yeah. And also top 4 in a trophy. I dare they lose to Potter. I dare they lose to Graham Potter.
You realize that there will be hell, like, if that happens.
Oh, of course. Of course. And good. If we don't get top 4 for another year, you lot are a fucking embarrassment. 4-window plan, we were told. This is window number 5. If you're telling me you can't even reach the targets that you were meant to get last season, get out. Get out now.
Fair.
Okay. And you know what? If the new sporting director comes in and says, I don't want Enzo, you get rid of him too. You back the next sporting director. So I think that's the best way to say it.
Let me just do these super chats before we move on to Spurs and Mr. Poster. No clue, Blad. You got me. Big up expression.
Oh, real good one. Real good one. Is that original? Did you think of that yourself, bro? I'm so proud of you because you're just so creative. You know, you create content. You create such funny jokes that I've never fucking heard before, bro. Good job.
It's rattled so easily. It's so funny.
Is it a color thing? Is it because I'm Arab?
Is it the color thing?
I said big up expressions the second sentence, you fraud. Big up to my guy, JW says, question to the panel, would you call Ederson world class? I wouldn't, personally.
Same. I wouldn't either. Nope. I don't think he's world class. Egal, do you think he's world class?
He was in the top 5 goalkeepers in the world.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Do you think he's world class?
He was world class, yeah.
Okay,
yes, I also think Ederson's world class just because, like, I mean, how can you say a guy who does a 4P and he's a staple 85% of their matches in? I mean, come on, you gotta give him something. And top 5 goalkeepers in the world, I'm fine with that.
Start for his country though.
He has
okay because one of the other of the top 5 are in the same country. That's not his fault.
Because the other guy's better than him. Simple as that. That's
sure, but that doesn't mean just because one is better doesn't mean that Ederson is not good either.
You're telling me Ter Stegen was never world class? You're telling me Ter Stegen was never world class? He was literally the number 2 for Germany because Neuer was always the number 1 goalkeeper.
Lewis, would you say Ederson's world class?
Not now. A few years ago, I'd hear it.
Ederson has been playing.
Yeah, maybe the last like 2 years he's kind of fallen off, but like there was someone said 9-year period. I would agree with that where Alisson and Ederson were the best, and it was like I wanted Hugo Lloris to kind of like get in that conversation, but anyway.
Since 2017, Ederson has been at the top of the league and top of the Champions League. Yeah. You gotta give him credit.
Big up to I know who you are. Jackie lad. Alan Hansen is the centre back goat if we use trophies, lol. This is why I have fought Lee Gunner with this via DM, via comment section, everywhere. Trophy logic is weak. Because you can't just bring up trophies. If we bring up trophies, there's many uncomfortable conversations. If we bring up trophies, please, everyone open new tab, go to Wikipedia, search Maxwell. Maxwell has won trebles, not just a treble, has won every single trophy there is to him in every single league he's played in. He's won French League, Spanish League, Dutch League, and Italian League. Maxwell, the left back that played for PSG. So let's not go there.
I thought you were gonna say the singer.
Who's the singer?
No. You never heard that song?
No. Alisson and Ederson equal Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
But see, I'll say this: Peyton Manning's considered a legend, though.
You have to respond as the American. I don't know who the hell this is.
They both are. Tom Brady's like the GOAT, won the most.
Can you pull up the comment that just came up? That perfectly sums up what I was trying to say.
Alisson and
okay,
you need an American football opinion here? The Peyton Manning or Tom Brady? Peyton Manning? Yes. Tom Brady?
Big up to Tyler Jones. Double in chat for my guy Tyler Jones for dropping in that 30 piece. Big up Tyler. Make me sweat. Big up. He says Ederson is shit. What the hell is this? City were in trouble last year and Ederson didn't save shit. Liverpool are in trouble and Alisson scared that. That's the thing when it comes to talking
about it. Ederson just won them the trouble.
See,
he also had like 5 different players playing center back in front of him throughout the year.
I wouldn't say just because
Ederson was one of the main reasons why they won the Champions League.
Okay, I'll ask you a question, Egal. Would you consider Ederson as good a goalkeeper as David De Gea?
Good question.
Better.
David De Gea was world class at one time.
No. Don't give me a fence answer. Who's better, Ederson or De Gea?
De Gea was a better shot stopper. Ederson's better.
But that's a fence answer, bro. Don't give me a fence answer.
It's true though. 1 second, that's the truth. Because
so out of how good he is at this and out of how good he is at that, with minus how bad he is at the so like find the equation. There's a formula to find the equation of who is better.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you. You want to know the problem with your logic, Egal? You can say that about every goalkeeper.
There's creative wingers. There's different types of
players. There's Timo Werner wingers, Egal. You forgot about those kind? They just run.
Yeah. Okay, so who
does that? He's really good at running, but does that mean he's better than anyone else because he can run really good? No.
Egal,
when we ask Egal who's better, Hazard or Salah, he says Salah. He does not tell me Hazard is a better dribbler. I'm not.
If you look at Hazard in the half spaces.
Sorry, I want to. Here's the thing, Egal. Exactly what Jacob said applies. We have to add up everything. So who's a better goalkeeper, Ederson or De Gea? Because Ederson is better with his feet than everyone.
Who would you take in their prime?
I honestly feel like De Gea. 1 second. I feel like De Gea gets a lot more propped up because Manchester United around him were not as good for some years also. And he looks a lot better because he's doing a lot more damage control, where Ederson does not have to do as much damage control as De Gea. In my opinion, who's had a better Premier League career? It's been Ederson. Simple.
That's once again a sit on the fence answer because Ederson just won the
trophy. I'll give you my answer.
Okay, I'll give you a clear answer.
A better Premier League career.
Ederson never reached the heights of being the best keeper in the world like David De Gea did. David De Gea is a better Premier League keeper for me than Ederson.
I don't think David De Gea was ever the best.
I'm not just going to look at the last 2 years where De Gea was shit.
He was never the best
keeper
for
a 5-year period. De Gea for about a 4 or 5 year period was looked at as the best keeper in the world.
He was about to go to Real Madrid. He was about to go to Real Madrid.
What do you mean he was not the best keeper in the world? Are you mad?
Neuer exists, you know. Manuel Neuer exists, you know.
Bro, he was considered world class. He was
he was
world
compared
class
to
at
Neuer.
that time.
Stop it. You can be considered world class.
He was compared to Neuer.
Exists.
Oh, he was.
So as long as
none of these clowns are good as the king of kinky.
And even people were even trying to put Oblak over De Gea. Don't do this whole thing where
Oblak had a good run, but Oblak had a good run. But once again, listen, let's agree to
you guys are doing too much when you say, "Oh, De Gea was the best player." De Gea had a high peak. De Gea did a lot of work. De Gea was in a bad team and he made everyone look good. He won a league title also. Don't discredit him. He did win a league title, but De Gea has not had to do it for that sustained period in a good team where we didn't see him have to make 20 saves a game.
If David De Gea was
if David De Gea and Ederson switched positions, he would never be able to survive in a City team.
Okay. If David De Gea was the City keeper, would City have won 6 leagues or no?
Probably not.
Fair. So you think Ederson's better. Big part of being a Premier League legend is cultural. I don't know, to be honest, because I wasn't in that era really. I don't think I've ever watched Ian Wright like live though. It was before
insert my question here or no?
Ian Wright Ian Wright's up there, but to say it's cultural, do you think there's politics to get into the Hall of Fame for the Premier League Hall of Fame?
No, because Gerrard was the first one inducted. My scouts.
No. Henry was.
You fraud, Egal. They inducted 5 players into the Hall of Fame at the start. Henry and Gerrard were both first ballot. You get me? So they were the first ever. So
I'm not saying first ballot. I'm saying the first player inducted when nobody else was in the room. Who was the first person?
Okay, the first Twitter tweet was Thierry Henry. Happy now, but they all got inducted at the same time.
Okay, now you see the formalities. We're saying the same thing.
Yes, now we're saying the same thing. Big up to my guy, John Bones Jones. Big up, Jahilat. If we use trophies as a logic, a lot of everyone's legends conversations get very spooky. Hansen is better than Maldini. Salah is better than Henry. Using trophies is... Oh, I can give you so many examples. Maxwell is better than Ashley Cole. Michael Carrick is better than Patrick Vieira. I could go on and on and on, bro. If you want to use trophies
though.
Ji-Sung Park is better than Eden Hazard. Let's go. Trophies.
1 second. I'm giving you a good. I'm giving. This is what I hate. When people hear
put books.
When people hear so many examples, you go mad.
I don't know what's happening. To be honest.
Increase the volume or the game or something.
Maxwell, who Pretty Wings. Don't forget that.
Would Salah be more respected if he was English? To be honest, yes.
100%.
Better now.
He wouldn't want a Ballon d'Or.
Salah was doing all this from right wing as an Englishman, bro. The prop on Sky Sports would be some next level shit. I'll be honest with you, bro. 100%.
No. Honestly, if Salah was English, he would have never came back to Liverpool the second time. Because he would have been.
What if he was Scouts?
He would have technically been dragged through the mud. Because Mo Salah started performing late in his career at Liverpool the way that he was.
Technically, he could have been Scouts.
No, but my point is, if you were English and you started in England, you don't tend to really have a poor start to your career.
They don't move up. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So if he was English,
so maybe if Salah was English, he would have went like on loan to Leicester and then on loan to Southampton.
He would have gone on loan to Dortmund and had to make his way back potentially.
Yeah, exactly. Goldberg said if Maresca drops Sanchez, the job is at risk. How are you accepting this, Lewis? This is mad if this is true.
What do you mean accept this? I've been calling this shit out for the last few weeks. It's pissing me off. Why the fuck is Robert Sanchez the most protected player in my squad? He's fucking shit. But because we got this fucking dumb head of goalkeeping who sees him as some love child and his biggest experiment in football history, he has to start every week. Meanwhile, you bought a goalkeeper who had the highest save percentage in the Liga and he can't even buy a start. I've been calling this shit out.
So wait, is this real then?
Yes. We've heard about this for weeks.
This is mad.
Like, it's people above Maresca. That's why Maresca's saying the stuff that the sporting directors are telling him to say. Start Robert Sanchez. There's the reason why he's doing Sanchez Defense League every fucking week.
1 second, Lewis. In respect to Enzo Maresca, he has to do that, or else he's going to throw the players' confidence to the floor. Fans can criticize him.
He's shit. I don't give a fuck about his confidence.
No, bro. Understand, you can say that. He can't.
Okay, but what does protecting his confidence do for me? Oh, it means he just goes running about in the Etihad for no reason. Great. Fuck his confidence and fuck him. He's fucking shit. Drop him. He's worse than Kepa. How do you get a goalkeeper that's worse than a guy who can't even touch the top corners?
To be fair,
I was actually talking to Marshall about that yesterday. I was like, every time I see Robert Sanchez, I'm like, why did y'all even get rid of Kepa? He's not better than Kepa. And like, Kepa's all right. He's not a great goalkeeper, but it's better than... But, I mean, did he make this many mistakes? Did he average one error per game?
Kepa 1920 had the worst save percentage in the top 5 leagues in Europe. And we actually had a Chelsea squad that finished 4th with the 3rd least goals conceded in shots conceded in the league. So he was literally just missing everything, just being a hologram.
Robert Sanchez made 1 mistake. Your centre backs made 2. So I can't read it.
Oh, brother, man's doing Sanchez next super chat, please.
The next super
Big up
chat
to Next Games, who says, I honestly agree with Egal. If you look at the stats with like possession, it's never the plan for smaller teams to do well in these stats. The plan is to frustrate the opposition, which Ipswich did versus Chelsea. Okay,
Ipswich
let me be the peacemaker.
No, this is more relevant to Everton and Fulham. Ipswich didn't frustrate us. We still dominated them until we went 2-0 down and everybody's heads went down. It was ourselves. We were the problem.
Who's defending against you? Who's stopping your midfield from progressing the ball? Who's stopping your attackers from getting in the right positions? Who's making
we
the
were
saves?
progressing the ball. We were making chances. This is my problem. We were the problem.
Lewis, you can say you're the problem, but at the same time, you can say their game plan worked to perfection because they got a 2-0 win and they kept
it didn't. They got one jammy-ass penalty and Disasi passed the ball straight to them. What are you talking about?
Egal and Lewis, guys.
You're because genuinely talking shit. This works for the Everton and the Fulham game, not Ipswich.
Sam, guys, we go United.
Ipswich beat you 2-0. 1 second. Ipswich beat you 2-0, and you sit here and tell me that it's all your fault and no credit goes to the opponent.
Yes,
you're
I am.
You're deluded.
You're telling me that first.
Yes, because you're delusional. You think that a team, a Premier League team.
Because if I was doing this the way you would, I'd just blame it on the ref giving that penalty away in the 10th minute and not hold my own players accountable for fucking the game up.
You're saying you lost 2-0 away from home, and it's down to your own mistakes. And
yes,
nothing.
Yes, I am. We got a bullshit penalty given to us, and Disasi, unwarranted, under no pressure, passed the ball with his weak foot and started the breakaway. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the way that they set up throughout the whole game. They made sure they made it.
Yeah, you're waffling and you're using cliches like, the way they set up. Why were we able to make so many chances in the first half?
Why weren't you able to score?
My players. That's what I'm fucking telling you.
Who's defending against you?
We're making chances, so what the fuck does it have to do about their defending? Okay. You're going round in circles.
So Jackson is Ipswich's player of the match then. Fair.
He came off the bench and basically could have been. Yes, I've literally been trying to tell you this for 30 minutes, but ain't registering in your fucking head.
You know I'm right. You're just trying to deflect.
You're not right. You're trying to be right, so you're changing the goalpost as far as you can to try and find something to die on.
You lost 2-0 to Ipswich and you're blaming your own attack.
Yes, of course I'm blaming my own attack. What are you talking about? At least it's better than you who blames the ref for everything. I could just blame the ref for that game.
Listen, I didn't lose to Ipswich.
That was a soft penalty, to be fair.
Yeah, but you know what? We should have done more. We should have done... Oh, no, but it's because of Ipswich and their setup. You're chatting bullshit.
Okay, I agree completely with Lewis now that I've heard both of your perspectives. The reason why I agree with Lewis is Slot out-coached Nuno when we drew 1-1, but our players just didn't take their chances. That does not mean that the other team was better. Even though that they were defensively solid, we still created enough to win that game, and we did not win that game. So, I'm giving massive credit to Matthias Tell, who was unbelievable in goal for Forest that game, but our forwards need to do better and take their chances. Now,
I was like, bro, Matthias Tell was in Schnitzelville. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Lewis already told you. Fulham, 100%. If he claimed that Marco Silva did not outcoach Maresca, then he's a fraud. But he's saying Marco Silva
that game at the same time.
Exactly. He completely outcoached Maresca. But in the Ipswich game, they did create enough chances and they just didn't score. So it cannot be. It cannot be that they got outcoached. Because if you create chances and your forwards are missing, how's that you being outcoached? Last season, we played Manchester City, had more possession, more shots on target, more corners, more everything. But, you know, our Diaz looked at Ortega straight in the face and shot it at the corner flag. You didn't see me blame Klopp, did I? I blamed the forwards. So that's my point. Anyway, big up to you, Next Games. Big up to everyone locked in. Guys, likes up, subscribe to the channel. You get me heated segment. Let's go. Big up to all of you guys, man. So, final segment of the day. Ange Postecoglou / Manchester
United? We're not talking about United?
No. Why?
Can I speak about United first? Because I do.
Why are you so aggressive? Why are you so aggressive?
Shikh said he has to go and he wants to talk about United real quick, and I'm considerate to my American brother.
I'm gonna host it.
Anyways, but
anyway,
let him host his channel, guys.
Thank you. Go ahead, Shikh. Talk about United for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about Spurs.
I was just gonna say 5 minutes is enough.
Ange
There's
Chester
honestly,
United.
there's not much to talk about. All right, man. Soon better be Ange Championship, Tottenham Hotspur, whatever.
Well, right now it's Ange Chester. Shout out City and United.
All right, cool. But anyways, about the game itself, terrible performance, absolute boring game. I'm sorry for anyone who did watch longs for that game because it was absolutely terrible. We went off of one shot on target, which is a Lisandro Martinez goal. I said it's a flawless on the watch long shot of flawless. I told him, I said, Lisandro Martinez is our best attacker. He's our best defender today. He's our best midfielder today. He's everything because he was the only one genuinely who was trying to break the lines with his passes, trying to hit an over the top ball to Ahmad or one of our players. Just that's what you get with your front three. But we get the 3 points. That's the most important thing, of course, is the fact that we need to get results no matter how you do get it. Shout out to Toby Collier. Shout out to you, bro, because you saved us. We caught life. That goal line clearance was absolutely crazy, but shout out to you. And yeah, play Manu in the 10. I actually criticized Amorim for this game because he's continuing to, it's becoming a trend now where he's continuing to pick certain players. Same way I criticize Maresca for picking Sanchez again and again, and then leading it to mistakes from Sanchez again and again. Same way for Højlund and Garnacho. This guy's ain't good enough. Garnacho, just for Lewis's sake, I'll say that was his United farewell. You know, it's going to happen soon, as I hope. And use that money to invest. We've gotten rid of Anthony. We're on the verge of getting rid of Garnacho, I hope, where it looks like Rashford's being out of the squad right now too. So our thin squad is already getting thinner. Go ahead and invest. Yesterday's game is a big example. There's so many games which are big examples of why we need to invest. If you bring in a left wing back, I know there was a tweet that just dropped a couple of minutes ago from Fabrizio, but it was really nothing. It was just saying that we're going to put in a bid, which we already know. But let's see, meet that valuation, get rid of Rashford because some of these players do need to go. I'm not saying that, we should not like all of a sudden get rid of them just because of our thin squad. They need to go, but we need to get players in. A left wing back, a left 10 could help us improve in terms of performances quite a lot because Garnacho and Højlund, I'm tired of seeing them. But we get the 3 points. We win against Fulham. We now play, I think, FCSB in the Europa League midweek, which is pretty much a must-win game. But I think even if we draw, we should be through to the playoff stages of the Europa League. That's a competition that we're still in. And matter if you think we're not going to win it or if you think you were going to win it or whatever, we still have to compete. And we don't currently have a squad to compete for that either. So we do need to sign players once again. And then the Premier League, I think we play Palace. I hope to see Xerxes start. I hope this isn't a trend of, Højlund and Garnacho just getting game time week in, week out. Last thing I would say is the comments that Amorim made about Rashford, crazy. I'm not going to lie, pretty crazy. The whole thing about, if Vator, the goalkeeping coach, was an option, I would still pick him over someone who I don't think is going to give his
big up Amorim for that. Big him up for that.
This is what I would say. I think that's frustration of him being asked that question week in, week out, every single time, whether we win, whether we lose. He's asked that question. Fabrizio.
Well, he's got to be nice to media. Can't be mean to media. Oh no, don't be mean to the media.
Yeah, well, I think it's also the fact that maybe this was his first, I guess you could say, harsh response to that question. It could try to read it this way. It could be him just being fed up. And this is one last thing he wanted to say, hopefully, about this whole situation. It's clear, bro. He doesn't like Rashford. Rashford is not going to make his way back into this team for whatever reason. And it's now up to the board to just sell him. If another opposition, if a club is asking for 80% of his wages, 70% of his wages, we're done past the time of trying to become financial analysts to see how much we can get back from Marcus Rashford. The most important thing is to get these players gone. And that's really where he stands. At the same time, though, with what he said, you can't continue to pick Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho if you're saying things like that. Because what are they showing to us on the pitch? And then you're sitting there in between games screaming move to certain players or telling certain players to get into certain positions. That's what you get when you continue to select them. You've liked Xerxes. Xerxes had good cameos in certain games. Start him. I don't understand this whole idea of why we wait until we bring on Xerxes, wait until we bring on Manu so that we can try to change the game. Start as you mean to go on. And maybe go into that second half with a lead and things could be different. But that's what I would say about that. We still obviously have problems. United fans should be happy about this win, but the performance was absolutely terrible. One shot on target, and that was the only goal as well. And at the same time, I think we defended well too at times, but Fulham were as shit as us, to be honest. They weren't doing shit in that game. But yeah, we move 3 points. That's the most important thing at this moment, and we see what we can do for the rest of the season.
let me throw this out at you because this is the same thing that Sam likes to take the piss out of me every time he says, "Oh, big up Maresca." Oh, you like to say the big up to Maresca, and it's like, no, I was saying big up for the way he handled the media.
He's using a Russian accent for the 100th time.
Because number one, fuck the Russian media. No, fuck the media. Number one, and number two is I value like authenticity on camera, whether it be YouTube, managers, players, whatever. And that's something that I think Amorim, for me, that I've seen from afar, he seems to be, he was kind of light, like, yeah, he's not training right, so we're not involving him. Then they keep pushing the button. It's the same thing but with United, it's like accelerated. So with Ange, it was over 12 months of the same stupid fucking questions. But for United, obviously, was it Onana dropped his keys in the parking lot, and they're like, how can he catch a ball if he can't hang on to his keys? It's like, everything is magnified at United. So I really rate the fact that he was like, I will play my goalkeeping coach over him if he doesn't train right. But he still left the door open. He still left the door open to do the right things in life, do the right things in training, and then we'll involve you. If you can't convince me, if Anthony gets a start, or Garnacho gets a start, these dusty-ass players, if Rashford trained well, acted well, he probably got a shit attitude. And I hate attitude. He gave him a chance. He still leaves the door open.
He's given him a chance.
I know for a fact that ain't Sharik Kiani from the Football Terrace, who have disappeared from my channel comment section for the last 4 months, now showing up because United won a game. You're the biggest fraud in YouTube history. You have disappeared for 4 months just watching United content, and now here you are because you won a game. Have some shame. Have some shame. Anyway.
There you are.
Yeah, one last thing I want to say before I do leave, obviously, is, I don't think this is a whole scapegoat of Marcus Rashford. Like, I'm not hearing any of those type of things because he's been saying this for a while. This is also someone who's given him a chance. The first game for Ruben Amorim, he started him as a striker. And we've seen this from time and time again from Marcus Rashford. Every time there's a new manager, a day later, you will see a post from him on Instagram, all smiling and shit, all happy as fuck, talking about, I can't wait to train with this new manager and happy days and all of that bullshit. But it's the same outcome. Certain players do throw certain managers down, or they, try to make it around them. And this is something that Rashford's been doing too. After certain games that we've lost, you always hear it in the media. Marcus Rashford is ready to come back to United. He wants to make a U-turn. Look at him, still wearing United track clothes. He loves the club, all that bullshit. I don't care. This is the same guy who said, he clearly said it after, is that not if I get a new challenge, when I get a new challenge. So he wants to leave himself. So we don't need to be doing this.
Yeah, he kind of wrote a whole Facebook breakup post.
A whole post about it, talking about, I need a new challenge. I'm ready for a new challenge. I want to go play for England. Like all of those type of things. I want to get I want to get back into the England squad. You're not going to get back to the England squad by that, first of all, by just sitting on the bench. So you need to force a move yourself. Get out of here, bro. And it's the same thing for Ruben Amorim too. I'm tired of him being asked this question again and again because it's so annoying. The media should just understand that he's not going to come back to this team. He's been fine. He's been training. He's been fit. He's been healthy. All of those things. He still watches from the stands. He doesn't get selected. Simple as that. Let's just move on. That's it, man. It's over.
And speaking of move on.
Can I go? Because I never go.
No. Can we talk about Spurs, please? Everyone need to go. Can we just speak about Spurs for 5 minutes?
I do have to leave.
See you, Shikh.
Big up.
Go ahead, Jacob. Talk to me about your.
I'll make this real quick. You know what they used to do? The witches out in Portland back in the fucking day? Burn them all. That's what we do to Tottenham. Burn it all down. Burn it down. Bring back White Hart Lane when shit actually mattered. Authenticity was there was magic. There was an effervescence in the air, and now it's farts in the air. Farts and queefs from all these pussy lips, all these assholes, just acting like a bunch of bitches. All right, I'm so tired of James Maddison. He can't play. Oh, I'm sore. My muscles are sore. Shut your ass up. This is why Gareth Southgate, the fraud, won't even select you. I don't know what else to say other than fuck James Maddison. Fuck these players. Fuck this club. We've always known it's Levy and Enoch's fault. And there's a reason why everyone wants Levy and Enoch to stay from a rival's perspective. But from my perspective, the numbers don't lie. Like, men lie, women lie, your emotions can lie to you, your perception can lie to you, you get schizophrenic, you get fucking whatever the thing when you start seeing stuff. That's all lies to you. But what doesn't lie is fucking numbers. It's been 20-some years, 16-some managers, soon to be 17, one fucking trophy. I mean, yo, Hussein, Jacob gonna give you money. Bro, he's the one that invites me on all these shows. That's his fault. He knows what happens when you unwrap this bow. What's in the box? I'll tell you what's in the box. The name stays in the box.
Listening to Jacob.
But what happened to this whole Ange sack thing though? Because he hasn't been sacked.
Yeah, it's me being like, hey guys, I picked the losing lottery numbers again, and then when they lose, it's like, look, I told you. But it was one of those where they all said he was getting sacked at 10 p.m. yesterday. They can hold that. And guess what? We put a few more shrimp at the bar being fucking Tottenham Hotspur way, so you can hold that and get in line with a plate, motherfucker, because I'm hungry. And we need a win. I need a win. Losing to Everton was like, guess I'm going to lose my mind. Losing to Leicester, 1 point off Leicester in this season. 1 point. And their fucking double pivot is Harry Winks and Oliver Skip. 2 players I couldn't wait to get out of my club. And they brought on Skip to shore up the 2-1 victory. That's what kills me. And again, like, Ange was doomed from the start, and he's like showed a couple of flashes in the pan, and then this club just continues to piss in the pan. And they were like, well, why isn't there any more flashes in the pan? Because all it is fucking piss in the pan. And that's what we got. Shit. I'll see you soon, Hull City. Can't wait to play Bristol City. What the fuck is their stadium? Toothbrush? Bristol City? What is that? I got bristles on my toothbrush.
Wait till you go to QPR, mate.
No, I know QPR. Shout out QPR. I used to think that they were like, in America and at national parks, they have park rangers. And so when I first saw Queen's Park Rangers, I was like, don't tell me they playing khaki shorts and fucking little collared shirts. Like, it'd be so funny because I thought the Queen had her own little park rangers and, like Yogi the Bear. Hey, boo-boo, what's in the picnic basket? It's like that. But instead, Tottenham, it's not a fun little cartoon. It's a bloody massacre. And every day you're losing your loved ones. And then you just try to get on with it. And then you just try to tell yourself, hey, it's going to be okay. But it's never going to be okay. The scary fucking Halloween, Michael Myers, you can run, baby, but he's still going to catch up to you and stab you right in the fucking back and kill you. Jason Voorhees, same thing. You could shoot him, you could stab him, you could drown him. It doesn't change anything. In the movie, you're still going to die. We're the victims every movie. It's never our turn. I figured at some point it would change. I felt like there's no way that this could continue forever. But alas, as long as that bald fuck is making money, he's not going to change shit. Because 15 minutes after we just get piped by fucking Leicester at home, you look at the beer lines, you're waiting 35 minutes for a beer. You can't just leave and go across the street. Instead, like, the same people so upset. I just want to make sure it wasn't a commercial one. The same people that were so upset about, Ange or Levy doing this and that, they show their wallets as soon as they're like, let me get that season ticket deposit. They say, oh yeah, Daniel, you want my season ticket deposit? Here you go. But get out of my club. What the fuck is that? You're paying a homeless dude to leave. He's gonna stay on that block. He's gonna stay there where the money's coming. And we flood that motherfucker with money all day, every day. I buy stuff. When I go to the Tottenham, you could best believe I'm going to walk around that fucking rim on the top. I'm going to go underneath and drive a car, and I'm going to do all the tourist bullshit. But, like, the season ticket holder, the people who every match are butts in seats, they are the ones that are basically telling Daniel with their actions, not their words, that what you're doing is fine. Because it doesn't matter how shit we are. We're going to fill this stadium. And at the end of the day, he doesn't give a shit about glory. We all know that. He doesn't care about winning. He cares about money. He cares about how that Excel sheet's the bottom line. And, like, I get it. Football's a business these days, but Tottenham wasn't built on business. Tottenham was built on Bill Nicholson, Jimmy Greaves, Hoddle, Waddle, these fucking legends. That's what we were built on. Now we got pussios like James Madison 20 minutes into a North London derby laying on his belly. Bitch, you ain't in a tanning bed. Get your fucking ass up. Anyway, fuck them all.
I'm just going to say this. I'll keep it simple. Tottenham are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
But this is the fun part. Some have razor blades in it. You think it's going to be coconut. Oh, no, I don't want coconut in chocolate. It's actually a razor blade.
There won't be any trophies in there.
That's true. Hey.
No, little edible gummy ones. I'm sure you can make some of those. We sell them in the fucking.
Ange Postecoglou might not be the problem, but he's not going to be the solution either. So you're going to have to get rid of him eventually.
No, he's not perfect. But he's not the problem. Sure, he's a problem. His in-game management is questionable. His training methods, you could say, has led to at least half of our injuries this season. Sure, but that is just a symptom of the problem.
He's injuring half your squad, and you might be getting dragged into a relegation fight. You think that's a problem?
Well, I don't think he personally injured these players. I think fucking players these days are diva pussies. Back in my day, you dislocate your finger, they snap that shit in, put some tape on it, and get your bitch.
Especially like your high-intense brand of football.
We haven't had a full training session in 2 weeks. And the last time we did have a training session, there was 7 senior players in it. Yesterday, we fielded a team.
Session? I think like with the full squad.
7? No, a bunch of academy kids. We said, "Hey, Jenny, can you let Tommy out of school early so we can play?"
Do you believe that Ange is playing a part in that?
I believe, like in a winter, like in a
Egal. Take care, man.
No.
Big up, Egal. Like in a storm, yes, like wind and rain. There's a bunch of compounding factors that lead up to the storm being burst.
I know why Lewis is asking this question, by the way. PTSD.
No. Well, it's why it's on my mind, but that's not like the main point of it. It's like you're getting dragged into a relegation scrap. It's got to get to a point where it's just not acceptable.
It could be a part of it. Maybe it could be maybe
but there's sure. You can add a little bit.
Jacob,
but the problem is everyone has injuries, and the club should have been put in a position where he can have fucking players who can play, not Archie Gray as a Swiss Army knife. The kid's 18, and he's our best center back.
My thing is, though, Ange has been a manager for 30 years, and he had really successful teams. And he hasn't really gone through this with any other team. He didn't have this problem at Celtic or at anywhere else.
So Spurs fans have pulled up articles where they said it was like a hamstring epidemic. And he said, sure, you could say my methods are this and that. But the thing is at every club that he's been successful. Well, okay, so every club he's been to except for Tottenham, like Jose Mourinho, he's been successful. I just want to throw that out there because people say, oh, get a proper manager and we'll do this and that. Bitch, we had proper managers. Everyone seems to forget that Postecoglou, we ended up at Ange Postecoglou because 3 different managers said no to us. He was our 4th, 5th option. Yeah, Shardy's not going to look the best when she's not the first draft pick off the club night. You got to just deal with what you got. And I said, you know what? It may not be the best poontang, but at least it's some poontang. And right now, I got the clap. Yeah, she's at work. She can hold that.
Yeah, you're lucky she's not listening to this.
She could walk in any moment. I'm not playing fire.
Whatever, mate.
I don't care. Right?
But that's my thing. If you get into a relegation scrap, I can't let you gotta go. You gotta get rid of him because you shouldn't be in that sort of situation.
Losing to Everton and Leicester, I agree with you. I'm fine if he goes. I'm fine with it. I just don't think it's going to solve anything. You're just killing a member of the tribe for no reason.
Ultimately, your bigger issues are Levy and everything. There's just look, you got at least for Tottenham, you got to keep him mid-table at least. How are you in a relegation scrap? What?
And speaking of, I'm actually looking at it now because BIG said it. Big up to him. He's saying, look at Spurs' next 8 fixtures. Let me read you guys the fixtures. So,
oh no,
they go away to Brentford. This is Premier League strictly. At home to Man United. Away to Ipswich. At home to City, at home to Bournemouth, away to Fulham, away to Chelsea.
We're going to get the new manager bounce Spurs, aren't we? Oh, great.
No, It's going to be the Ryan Mason bounce, and that's not even a bounce.
Oh, Ryan Mason. Yeah, forget it. Cool. Run me that.
I'm so glad Jacob spoke so much shit after that Carabao Cup game because I just know... Literally,
bro, if we beat Liverpool, I'm so back. I don't care. If we get past you for some reason, bro, I'm cooking you because you're losing to relegation fodder, you weirdo. Oh, I can't wait.
Have you not seen this fucking... Sorry, just quick. Have you seen this David Coote stuff that's just dropped?
No.
Oh, bro.
Because I just know that 1-0 is gonna be gone within like 3 minutes, and it's just gonna be pointless. Like I received an hour and a half cooking for nothing. Literally, it's just it is what it is. What's this?
I've just seen this get reported. So in an interview with, sorry guys, but the Sun, David Coots revealed he turned to cocaine as an escape from the pressure of hiding his sexuality. The death of his mother and his uncle's diagnosis creates a pressure cooker environment that led towards a substance abuse. Faced allegations regarding a betting incident where a friend informed him about a bet on a player getting booked. And yeah, you just blame it all on like past situation, everything that's been going on in his life that got him to that. It's just, this all just dropped like 20 minutes ago. It's all mad.
Crazy interview.
Yeah, like
sorry, officer. I robbed the bank because my welfare check didn't come in, and my fucking mommy spanked me when I had too many cookies. Like, okay, like this is just absolving yourself of guilt. In my opinion, you're guilty. Hold that. You cry more.
Okay, unshare screen to us before it get cancelled. Big up to Fonzie who says, "I know slots."
Oh god, it's 2025. This isn't the 1800s where your sexuality dictates how your life goes. Like, bro, you are a human. You are the master of your fate, and you're gonna go, I did all these wrong things.
I get it, though. You don't understand how brutal football fans are like in ground, so they'll be onto any bad decision. They're gonna call him every slur under the sun.
But they already do.
Yeah, but you not in a bad way.
It's like
giving
YouTube,
them more
bro.
ammunition.
Lewis, how much bullshit you get? Do you take that shit to heart? You go to the ground, you have people saying, fuck you.
I don't care, but I'm also not having 40,000 people chanting at me, innit?
You got 50,000, 60,000 subs, right? Something like that. You're on the
road
to 100K.
Okay? All of them piling in say the same thing. Like, it's usually just a minority. It's like, I don't give a damn. Bun you lot.
That's my thought here. Is like, if you're in the public forum and you're putting yourself out there in that sense, bro, hold that. Be a grown up. Like, why is the? I'm not going to open that up. I'm not going to open that.
No. I know exactly where you're going. I know Slot's a genius because he said no to Spurs. Oh, he's definitely a genius for saying no to Spurs. I think even
Pot said no to Spurs.
Even Jacob, as shameless as he is, he will tell you Slot's probably smarter for staying away from Levy and these guys. Like
he didn't. No, he didn't say no to us. It's worse. He used us. He tantalized us, maybe, and then he's like, "Feyenoord, look, Spurs want me. I need a better contract." And they're like, "Okay." And then he's like, "All right, I'm getting a better contract." And it's like, so you used us. It's like you get a side hoe because your wife might leave you. Then your wife gets jealous. So then she's like, "I'm gonna be a better wife." You're like, "All right, bye, side hoe." And I'm just over here like, does anyone want to love me? And then Postecoglou strolls up.
Reporting it now, so I think it's true.
Yes.
All of that. Fuck it up.
If they beat us in the second leg, I am pro Jacob the rest of the season. Same. Because if they come to Anfield and go through, bro, it'll be insane. I'll be honest with you.
Anfield. They're going to Anfield.
If he's still in the job at the time.
Well, some say that's the only thing that's keeping him in a job.
Hey, fairs, we shall see. But you know what it is, Gonzo? It'll probably be my most embarrassing episode of all time. So let's not even go there. Big up to you, though.
No, you're coming on to United Spurs of America, and you're just going to... I'm going to full screen you, and we're just going to laugh at you. Deal?
Will you still invite Jacob on when they go down? Of course. Championship Jacob reporting.
Don't ignore me for a $2 super chat. I said if we beat you in that second leg or we draw and we get through to the final, will you come onto my show so we can just point?
Like you want me to come on the channel so you can laugh at me? That's so rude and disrespectful.
I come onto this channel twice a week to get laughed at every fucking week.
No, but they don't laugh at you. We let you get therapy here.
Oh shit! She heard me, bro. My wife's calling.
Big up. Yes, I will invite him, BIG.
Jacob out. Jacob out.
Jacob out. Take him out. Anyway, listen, big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. This was a very entertaining stream.
Yep, literally.
And plus, we didn't get to hear Egal complain about the referees. You know, we're only 2 likes away from 250 likes. Let's get there. So close your live chat and like the video if you haven't yet done so. Subscribe to Carefree Lewis G, Egal Talks Football, United Spurs of America, Shikh TV. Go subscribe to every single one of these Vator games as well. They're all in the description. Go give them a sub. Also, the stream's going to take you over to Ziyad's Zone because he's doing a Chelsea stream. He's talking about Chelsea are in a mess right now. No excuses for Maresca. Should be interesting. So we're gonna spam his chat with Maresca out. Just to see his reaction. Just to see his face. His face gonna burn up, and it's gonna start turning into a kiwi. So spam his chat with Maresca out. Let's see his reaction. Love you all. I'm see you guys back tomorrow, inshallah, for the Copish stream. Peace out.
Peace.
And Tom Little, of course, but Tom's a fraud.